Welcome to the Weekend Live Show.
508 is where I'm from.
We run down the biggest stories of the week with you every Saturday night. Let us know in the comments right now where you reppin'.
Apache Junction, Taunton, Worcester, Long Island, Manchard, South Florida, Webster, Malden, Framingham, Tucson, Wichita, Billerica, Salem, Gloucester, Moosop, Connecticut, Charleston, South Carolina, Roslindale, Moosop, Connecticut, London, Hampton, Glendale, Arizona, Lynn, Naperville, Quincy.
Food stamps, leave your clothes, buddy, and damn, what's
you a funny ass guy, man.
Have you ever heard of Turtleboy? Yeah? Are you a fan?
508 is where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from.
What the hell was that?
Oh, it's fucking Giannetti.
You a friggin' idiot. Stop telling people that I'm mentally deranged and stupid. It's homosexuals, they love them, drug that.
Nobody wants to see your dick pics, dude. Oh. Can't show it. It's a Giannetti dick pic.
NFL on the house, plug that.
Let's get this party started.
Yo, what's up, Turtle Riders? How's everyone doing out there tonight? Good, good, excellent. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. I crack up every time I watch that intro. It's Giannetti. Could we just have an all Giannetti show again? I miss those. Those were the funnest shows, the Giannetti shows. But you never know. He's hard to keep track of. I heard he got shot. That's his latest thing he's saying. He got shot. He's really milking that one for all it's worth. But he won't answer my calls. So whatever. Anyway, welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aidan. You can call me Clarence, or you can call me Uncle Turtleboy, or I really prefer Dr. Turtleboy, because if Jill Biden is a doctor, then so am I. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is at Dr. Turtleboy. That's DOCTOR Turtleboy. You can also follow me on Facebook. My personal account is Clarence Woods Emerson. You don't need a friend request. You can just hit the follow button. You can also follow the Turtleboy page, which is getting close to, I think, 25K. We just lost a page with 40,000, and we don't rebuild. We reload. That's what we do around here. On Instagram, we are at Turtleboy_daily_news. We're on Reddit. And, I'm not on TikTok, but man, everyone's on goddamn TikTok. I said I'd never do TikTok, but it's just everyone's on fucking TikTok. It's horrible. But anyway, happy early Father's Day to all the daddies out there. Welcome. Hopefully you guys have big plans tomorrow. But if you guys are watching here right now, we got about 11 people over on the Rumble. I'm going to remind you guys that so many of our shows have been taken down. I think we're up to almost 600 shows, and we've lost like lots of them, dozens of the shows. They're just gone forever on YouTube. They just take them down arbitrarily. Rumble takes down nothing. So please subscribe to our Rumble channel if you haven't already. Make an account. It takes 2 seconds. Hit that subscribe button on that channel. And eventually what we're going to start doing soon is streaming like the last 15 or 20 minutes of every show exclusively on Rumble to try to get more subscribers over there. We stream all of our shows on Rumble. We it's there afterwards. So please go, and I'll try to keep up with the comments over there. I see Dolson Sob over there and 45 other people. So anyway, TikTok is where the population is. It's not nearly as censored. Oh, it's actually very censored. We got kicked off, dude, wicked early off of that. So anyway, like we had an account with it got like 15,000 followers in like a week. I'm like, what? Everyone's on this goddamn platform. And then it's got taken down. They didn't explain why. So anyway, that's who I am. That's how you could follow. Most importantly, make sure you smash that subscribe button, because if you're new here, we do this every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m., especially all summer, because there was no like playoff games. I don't do the Red Sox. I don't do the Woke Sox. I like all the teams around here, except I don't watch the Red Sox anymore. I gave up on them. Not doing it. I just have no interest in it whatsoever. So I'll be here all summer at Tuesday and Thursday at Tuesday and Saturday at 9 p.m. On Thursdays, we do a thing called Turtle Club stream. Crap. I was supposed to put the kids. Hold on one sec. Hold on. I was supposed to put the kids' fucking laundry in. I forgot one. God damn it. All right, I'll do it after this. Okay. Anyway, it's Father's Day. I should get that I get a mulligan on that one. Anyway, I forgot where I was going with this, but yeah. So we also do a lot of Turtle Club. Join it, $15 a month. You get ad free on the website. You can join below. You get access to the Thursday night stream that no one else gets. It's growing a lot. Membership. We're getting close to like 100 people every stream on there. It's pretty fun. It's exclusive content that no one else gets. You get a free t-shirt as well. Yeah, I'll get the laundry after this. I promise. I'll do it. I'm going to take like a 5-minute break after like a 2-minute break after the first segment to do the laundry. How about that? Okay. Anyway, so folks, yeah. Also, we do a lot of impromptu live, so make sure you guys hit that notification bell because you never know when we're going to be live. I'm definitely going to be going to Canton in the very near future again, and Norwood. We have a special trip coming. We're going to be doing some reconnaissance work in that area. Not really saying what it is yet, but yeah, listen to Lisa. Turtle Club is the best. Join it. Okay. All right. Anyway, folks, so we'll just jump right into it. We'll do where you're repping afterwards. I'm going to jump right into our first story of the day here. And by the way, if you guys like the program, last announcement here, and you want to help us out and you want to donate, what you can do is you can't donate like if you watch other streams, you could probably see like you might see this thing called Super Chat where you can donate money and your donation comes up there. We're not allowed to do that. We're demonetized because we had the wrong opinion about President Biden's vaccine mandate 2 years ago. Okay. And they're like, you can't take money from people anymore because you're a bad person. You're spreading misinformation. You're going to kill grandma and blah, 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 blah. Well, even though we turned out to be kind of right on that one, we're still not allowed to, which is fine because it worked out well because they took 40% anyway. So what you can do is you can click. We built our own super chat function. It's called Turtle Chat. You click at the link pinned to the top of the comment section and you can donate whatever amount of money you want in that. And you get to write a message. I'll get an email and I'll read your message out loud to the class. For instance, our first one here is from Justin. He sends $5 and he says, highly recommend the new Rogan RFK episode. The libs are freaking out about it. I do like RFK. I just can't, the voice, man, the voice is a problem. Would you guys not agree with that? Like, I like RFK's ideas and all. I can't listen to him talk. I know it's not his fault, but it's like, dude, that's going to be a problem. I'm telling you, it's going to be a problem. But anyway, it's like Fetterman. It's the same. It's like Fetterman. It's a little bit bad. I don't know. At least Fetterman's funny. A little scratchy, a little bit like, dude. Okay. I'll definitely give it a shot. Okay. You guys tell me it's worth a shot. I'm going to give it a shot. All right. Anyway, let's talk about our first story here. This douchebag. Okay. Now I ended the blog by saying that I rarely, even with like Jen McCabe, I don't like Jen McCabe, but I don't fucking hate her in the way that I hate Eric Spofford. I hate Eric Spofford. I fucking hate him. I just detest this guy. And I think more than anything, what I hate are the people who blindly follow this guy still. That I can go to his Instagram page and I can still see all these assholes, women and men, kissing this guy's asshole. Like there's not tons of information out there showing that this guy is a complete sexual degenerate. So if you guys don't remember this dude, we published a story about it. NPR publishing a story about a year or so ago, a woman by the name of Lauren Chulgian. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm no like NPR fan, obviously, but I give credit where credit is due. And this story was excellent reporting. The story that she did on this guy, like it was world class. It's very rare from, I consider NPR the mainstream media, even though they're basically government owned. But it was about this woman who's a reporter from NPR who had bricks thrown through her windows, her parents' windows, a colleague's windows, and windows of a home that she used to live in. These incidents happened shortly after she published a story about this douchebag on the right, not this douchebag on the right, Eric Spofford. He is the CEO of something called Granite State Recovery. It is I don't even know if they call it a nonprofit. a multi-million dollar organization that profits immensely off of the opiate addiction, and they do recovery, right? And I did see a comment that somebody left about there. It's like, dude, just stop doing drugs. I know it's not that simple, but like there is something to this where it's just like people like this guy can come in and just make a fortune off you. Now, Eric is a former drug addict himself who inherited a home from his daddy. His daddy's like a logger, I think, or something. I don't know. Like Eric likes to act like he's like from the streets or something. Like, dude, your dad owned property and shit, and you inherited it. And then he turned it. He's like, wait a minute, I can just have drug addicts sleep here, and then I can get money from the state through Medicare and from insurance companies because addiction is a disease it's classified as, and I can just get paid to have these people sleep in my house, and we'll do recovery. Now, to his credit, there have been a number of people that seem to have benefited from his programs. And those are the people who are kind of like most loyal to him and why he feels emboldened to do the things that he does. But this dude makes like hundreds of millions of dollars off of, and by the way, we are going to get to the Canton stuff tonight. I like to do that towards the end. I want to do a couple other things first, but this dude here, he's made hundreds of millions of dollars off it. And he's like, kind of like he's just not, doesn't seem like he's in it for the right reasons. Every picture he posts on Instagram, we'll see some of them, are him on his private jet, on a fucking yacht, doing like MTV cribs of his home, and bought a $21 million home in Miami. And it's like, dude, this is like, aren't you supposed to be a little bit humble for this job? And he acts like he makes all these like motivational videos, and we'll see some of them where he's like, it's like reading a fortune cookie. The things this guy says, they're so generic. You got to work hard for your goals, and you can never quit. You can never, ever quit. Because guess what? When I wanted to quit and I felt bad for myself, I never quit. And you just got to keep working towards your goals. If you're a quitter, you're never going to be anything in life. Oh, dude, that was wicked deep, man. You're so fucking deep, Spofford. Thank God. You are the guy really thinks he's like, I don't know, like Vince McMahon meets Elon Musk or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, with great power comes great ego. And this guy really thinks he's like hot shit. He's a juice head, obviously. And he had sex with a number of women who either worked for him, and a lot of people who worked for him were previously in recovery themselves, or were just clients of his. And there is a power dynamic there. Like, you can't say no. Like, you can, but can you? You know, do you want to cross this guy? Like, it's an unfair position to put a woman in to proposition her for sex. And this dude is sending out, like, out of nowhere, the old unsolicited dick pics. Now, as somebody who obviously, as you all know, has partaken in that myself, the key word is unsolicited. Like, if you're going to send, there's a code when it comes to dick pics. You need to get what we call the green light. Okay. Positive. Like, do you want it or not? Like, do you want it? Okay, good. You can't just be like, well, send a dick pic, and it's like fishing. It's not fishing. You can't just send a dick pic out there and be like, well, see if there's any biters. Nope. You can't do that. You got to get the permission. And this guy's just sending dick pics out left and right to women who he has immediate power over and influence over. And you can't be doing that. So they felt like they had no choice but to go along with them. And I mean, look at the people who he's associating with. There's Mike Pence, who, by the way, canceled a trip to New Hampshire during the last election to meet with this guy because his second in command, I think his name is Eric Hatch, I want to say something. He used to play football for the Giants. He got caught selling a lot of drugs, and he's facing time in federal prison for that. And so Pence canceled at the last minute his trip there to talk about the opiate epidemic, and didn't want to be associated with this douchebag. Sununu associates with him. Steve, what's his name? The DJ asshole. Okay. I mean, there he is. Like, look at the things he writes. I used to be insecure about winning. I would hide doing well because I didn't want the haters, critics, and naysayers to talk shit. I had watches I wouldn't wear and cars I wouldn't drive because I don't want people to see me. Like, you really made it. Like, what did you do to make it? Like, I understand it's America, Like everyone should make money. But this dude has no talent or skills or anything besides just scamming insurance companies. Like this chick he knocked up, her name is like Persephone or something. She was a drug addict. And I don't even think they're together. I think he might have sued her. I'm not exactly sure. We'll find out momentarily. But after NPR wrote their story about this guy detailing all the sexual misconduct, and that woman, Lauren Chulgian, she interviewed everyone. Like she spoke with how they got this is first she did a story about a COVID outbreak, which I thought was a stupid story. And then after that, people started like, oh, you think that's bad? Look at all these dick pics. And people started telling her it gets a lot worse. And all of a sudden, people start coming forward, and she provides a lot of them with anonymity. And anonymity is, as we know, is very important for stories. I use it a lot. And he, I thought it was she's not going to publish something, and her editors aren't going to publish something that they don't feel 100% confident in. And so many people came forward telling similar stories that it became real. And she saw the I don't know if she saw the Snapchats, because Snapchats disappear. He would send a lot on Snapchat, the old make my dick disappear app. That's what that's for. Don't trust guys who use Snapchat. Anyway, afterwards, he posts this letter, and it's to, and he's like, 3 months after I sold my business for 9 figures. He has to throw that in there a lot. NHPR published a hit piece about me. I told them all the allegations are false, but they didn't care. They were going to publish this story no matter what. That's what the media does now. NHPR don't like me, my politics, my wealth, my appearance. I'm so hot. I'm so rich. I'm so conservative. They just you can't stand me. So they're trying to cancel me. Not happening. So he's presenting himself as like this conservative right-wing bulwark to like left-wing. Like he's trying to appeal to people like me. That's what he's trying to do with this whole thing. And I can see right through it. Apparently the reporter spent more than a year working on this fake news. What'd she find? Not a damn thing. She coupled some fake allegations and misconduct together with salacious verbiage, speaking of, to make me look like a predator. Worse, her star witness was one of my closest friends and mentors, Piers Kearney. Piers was his sponsor. Piers and I had a falling out. Sucks, but that's life. But I didn't expect him to spew a bunch of false shit about me behind my back to a reporter. So Piers left this dude, like a lot of people left him, because they realized this guy's in it for the wrong reasons. And he's shady. And women were coming at people like Piers and telling him, this dude's sending dick pics out. This dude's trying to be sexually aggressive with me. Like, what the hell? That's why he left. So he goes, but so what that's all been, I've been working on since NHPR ran this crap. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on lawyers to pursue lawsuits against NHPR, the journalists, and the sources of this article. And this is such, and he's not kidding. He literally spent a lot of money doing that. And this is such a threat to democracy and freedom. The fact that this rich prick who has no reason to be rich in the first place, but got his fucking feelings hurt by the truth. Some people were brave enough to speak out against him, and he's going to punish you by filing some frivolous lawsuit that a lot of people just don't want to deal with. And this guy Piers was one of them. And I mean, I'm not saying I talked to this guy before, but I mean, Piers, you got to step up, dude. I think it's a little cowardly what he did. He wrote this like false confession here, like that Eric uses. He made this whole goddamn confession about how NHPR had Piers' statement for more than a week, yet they won't publish it. They won't even include an editor's note admitting that a key source of the story was not credible and effectively recanted. Since NHPR won't be honest, I will. So when my lawyers told Piers' lawyers that we were going to sue him for his defamatory statements, he negotiated a settlement in exchange for letting NHPR know the truth about his statements. They were all false. So basically he's admitting right there that he's like, yeah, I went to Piers and I'm like, if you don't do everything, like this is extortion. If you don't do everything I'm telling you to do right now, we're going to sue you and it's going to be expensive and you don't want none of that. So why don't you here's what you're going to do. You're going to write a letter and here's what you're going to say in the letter. And then you're going to send it to NHPR and you're going to be like, and then they're going to retract the story. That's literally what he thought was going to happen here. But of course, NHPR, this letter means nothing to them because this letter reads like it's like a North Korean confession. And there's Piers. And like, who's buying that? Like, nobody's buying it, so they don't take it down. And he's like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" And then he goes an alternative route that we'll talk about momentarily.
One thing that I did and I was able to do very, very early on in my sobriety that set me apart from so many other people. And it's setting a vision.
Oh my God.
You have to have a vision.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Why? You can't hit a target you can't see. Your life is never going to exceed what it is that you can't think. You must be able to think it before it'll ever come to fruition, before it'll ever manifest into reality. Your ability to have...
This dude is the Kamala Harris of the recovery world. I've never heard somebody say less while saying so much.
Listen, you have to fucking think bigger. You have to dream bigger. You guys short sell yourselves. You really do. How big is the vision? Fucking bigger. That's the answer.
Whoa,
it has to be bigger. I have such unrealistic vision. You know what they said? Eric, you need to be realistic. I tell them what I was going to do. I'm going to build a company. It's going to look like this. It's going to help this many people. It's going to make this much money. They were like, Eric, I don't know.
Yeah.
You need to be realistic.
Yeah.
You know what I learned over time? That everyone that told me I needed to be realistic, I had to get the fuck out of my life. Now I love when they say something like that to me because I know I'm like, you're one of those motherfuckers I ain't going to listen to. But I need to surround myself with people like...
Seriously, he acts like he is like a genius. Like, dude, you opened up a bunch of beds and you collect money from Medicare. That's it. That's all you do. Look at him in the classroom like you string a bell. Look at this guy. Oh my God. So anyway, that fails. Like the attempt to get the story taken down fails. And so then this happens about a week later to the reporter's home in Melrose. And this is freaky, man. The dude is in the yard, throws the rock right at the window. Like, dude, that's crazy. That's middle of daylight. Look at all these cars around and shit. Again. Brick. There's a car in the driveway. Insane. So that happens. And just talk about stupid. It's like everybody's going to know you're behind that, Eric. Like nobody's going to be dumb enough to think you didn't do that. And he also wrote they wrote just the beginning and cunt all over the place. And this is a serious threat. A lot of reporters are dramatic about, threats to democracy. Like this is an actual threat. This is a serious fucking thing. And so that doesn't get her to stop. And I've been in the situation too. Like, you don't think I've been in the situation where people I love and care about are like, have asked me, like, can you stop doing this? Because we're getting dragged into this now. You know, my work is getting called over this. Like they'll blame me for it. Like I did it. If you stop, they'll stop. It's like, oh yeah, because that's fucking. It's just there's a lot of cowards in this world. There really are. There are so many people that just don't want to rock the boat. And it's like, do you not stand for anything? Like, do you not stand for anything? Like, what kind of life is that to live? Like, you're gonna die one day. And you're going to be like, what did I do? Well, you know what I did? I avoided problems my whole life by just giving in and having no fucking principles. That's put that on my grave. I avoided problems my whole life by just not having any principles. Like that's it. So he wanted to send a message that like nobody fucks with Eric Spofford. So then he files a lawsuit and he files it against NHPR, Julian, and three of the sources, one of which is a guy named Justin Downey, who I'm going to have on momentarily. And Justin, unlike some of these other people, to his credit, he never backed down. And he's been posting about what a punk Eric is this whole time. And it's been great. And so he'll tell his whole story momentarily. But anyway, the lawsuit was thrown out in April, and then he appealed it. And this judge, Dan St. Hilaire, is really dangerous thing he's doing here. He's granting Eric access to the reporter's notes, which if you listen to her podcast, The 13th Step, which is really, it's good. I don't know if has anyone out there listened to this podcast in the comments, The 13th Step. It's about like the 12-step program, and the 13th step is sucking Eric's dick, basically. And like that's how you graduate from there. I don't know if you guys have listened to it. It's a really good podcast. I wouldn't listen to the part like it starts taking a liberal stance once they start talking about Christine Blasey Ford, and then they talk about like they start how it's like these homes are racist and anti-transgender. I'm like, okay, I skip forward it. I'm like, I'm all set. Let's just stick to the story, okay? Let's just stick to the story. But anyway, it's wrong what they're doing, how they're forcing this woman to like hand over her notes, which she really obviously doesn't want to do. And so then this guy comes along, Eric Labarge. So another piece of shit. Look at this fucking useless chode. And these guys, by the way, Eric never sued me. Eric, how come you don't sue me, my dude? Like I do as much worse than you. I was much worse than you to you than NHPR was. And you just blocked me because you don't want this smoke. Like at least he's smart enough to know not to fuck with me. Like Eric Spofford wants nothing to do with Turtleboy. Fucking nothing. He knows it ain't my I would love a lawsuit against you, dude. I'd love it. Let's go. Let's dance, baby. Let's dance. But he doesn't want it. And that's a shame because I would really look forward to that. And then there's this fat fuck, this piece of shit, this neck. Look at this guy's neck. Gee, where'd it go? You can't see it. Eric Labarge. And he is a career criminal who's been to jail for choking bitches. You name it. Left and right, this guy's got Google trophies. He's a former addict himself who now owns 7 recovery homes because that's what you do. You just open a bunch of homes and you put drug addicts in the beds, and then the Medicare checks start coming in. And this dude got arrested last year, 2 weeks after the incident, because he kicked the shit out of some guy. He's on video, like pile driving him like Zangief in Street Fighter, and kicking his face in. And I think it was an abandoned parking lot. And then he makes this post here. Look at these dudes, tough guys, big tough guys. There they are at Sununu. I mean, look at this.
Following program was provided.
Oxys came around.
Right. Prison in my story. I went to prison fairly young. I went to prison when I was about 19 years old. I was a full-blown, coke addict.
Yeah, you're real recovered now, though. Okay. And so he writes this whole post about how he beat the shit out of the guy, but it was all self-defense. The guy was trying to kill him. And my comment, and all these people are in the comments blowing this dude about he helped me get sober, blah, blah, blah. Such a great guy. And then I commented on it, and I'm like, I guarantee the guy who got beat up threw a rock through a reporter's window after being paid to do so. This is how they make sure he keeps quiet. That was my guess about what this was. And as it turns out, it appears to be true, because the FBI finally yesterday announced that they are arresting 3 people for this. And I'm glad, because this is, like they said, the freedom of the press. I'm glad that is what they're talking about with this, because that's what this is. This is a threat to the First Amendment. That's what they're trying to do here. Use the threat of violence to keep people from speaking out. And I thought these names were made up when I first read them. I mean, look at these goddamn names of the people they arrested. Dude, his name is Tucker Cockerline. There's Tucker Cockerline. It's bad enough when your last name is Cockerline. And then, like, your son, that's your last name. Okay, you're like, fuck, my son's going to be a Cockerline. That's bad enough. But you know what we should name him? Tucker. Like, tuck your cock in. Tucker Cockerline. They hired this guy. And the other guy's names that got arrested are Michael Waselchuck and Keenan Saniatan. And they all get charged with this. And I don't even give a shit about these 3. These 3 mean nothing to me. They're just career criminal assholes. They were like, they've been arrested for a million things. They were seen on video outside of her house. So they got him with that. They got him on Methuen, Home Depot buying the bricks. There's Waselchuck. He's the one that threw the brick that we saw in that video. I mean, these guys are just junkies. And they will do anything to get high. And I guarantee you that they were paid to do this. Oh yeah, they just ran. I'm sure they just randomly hated this woman, right? That's the way that Spofford makes it seem. All these people are real loyal to me, so they got my back. But come on. Obviously, I will bet you $1 million. They were on the phone, by the way. They got him on the phone with Labarge. He's subject 1. Subject 2. Subject 1 in the FBI's report is Spofford. And these guys are all tied together. And I can't wait until they start going down. I can't wait until they get these guys to start talking and Labarge to start talking and Spofford goes down for this. Because I don't know what made this asshole think that he could get away with this, but his own arrogance, because he's just so used to, when you have money, you just think that you can get away with anything. But he's like most people who have money got that money because they're a little bit smart. Eric Spofford is a full-blown retard. Like there's no other way around it. So anyway, we're going to bring Justin on now. Justin was the guy again, that did not back down and got sued in the process. And I think he's still being sued by us. So we're going to bring on him now. Hey, Justin, how you doing? You there?
What's up, Aidan?
How are you? Can you hear me? Are you there?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, we're good. So thanks for coming on. Okay, we're struggling. We got a Suzanne thing here. You there?
Yeah.
Okay. I think are you watching on YouTube or
can you hear me?
Yeah, but are you watching us on YouTube or are you watching on StreamYard? Don't watch on YouTube. Okay. Did we lose you?
I'm on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay. This is bad.
I can hear you.
This is what you can hear me. We can hear you too. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's give this a shot. Okay. So so you're being sued by Eric, right? Oh my God.
Can you hear me on this?
Okay. Okay. So this is not,
Hello?
you got to turn the YouTube off. Do you have YouTube on it? You're not, are you on YouTube right now? If so, turn YouTube off. Get rid of YouTube.
I can hear you.
Okay.
I'm not watching it on YouTube.
Oh, you're not? Okay. So, but it is working. Can you hear me? Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. We were talking on this before and it was fine before the show.
No, I didn't. I'm not.
Oh, you're not. So it's not. Can you just hit, can you refresh your StreamYard link then? Okay. Okay. So I'm going to tell him just refresh your StreamYard link because this ain't going to work. This ain't going to work. I'd love to hear from him, but you got to refresh the StreamYard link.
Hold on. I'm trying to figure this out with you.
Just hit refresh. Go to the top of the bar and hit enter it again.
Hold on.
Okay. Yeah. Just hang up and dial back in. Okay. Anyway, let me check the turtle chats in the meantime while he tries to figure this out. We got another turtle chat here. We got one from Richie O. You're doing a hell of a job, Turtle. Loved Tuesday night show. Absolutely priceless. Tuesday night show was fun. That was when we called all the people on Gemma Cabe's call list. That was intriguing. I'll tell you that much.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Is that better?
It is. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So anyway, so you're being sued by Eric Spofford, correct?
Yeah.
And so you had it thrown out, and are you still in it?
I'm still in it because he amended the original. He amended the judge's finding for it getting thrown out as defamation, and then he tried this other motion that he's doing now with requesting, the minutes, I guess you would say, from the court so that he could hear. So he's trying to determine that this lawsuit was put forth on malice.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So that's where it's at, but it already got thrown out. And
now, you had to pay for your own attorney for this?
Well, fortunately, the people knew that. Yeah, what I was doing was the right thing. I got a pro bono lawyer for this.
Oh, somebody helped you out free. That's good. Okay, cool. I was going to say NHPR really should be paying for your attorney. They're the ones that got you into this mess.
Yeah, they are. They didn't think twice about it. I said it to them. I said it to them.
They good.
Up on it.
Glad to hear, because if they're gonna do this, they should stand by their sources. So what tell us about how you got dragged into this lawsuit in the first place. What happened?
Well, can I just clarify one thing that you said?
Shoot. Yeah, shoot.
I don't want to get into a pissing match with you or anything. Piers is the most morally upright guy that I've ever met in my life. And whatever's going on, he had extenuating circumstances that I don't want to get into because that's his personal, personal business. But for whatever reason, he didn't recant what he said on that. That wasn't a recanting. He had extenuating circumstances I won't get into. That guy is one of the best human beings that I've ever met in my life. And I've met a lot of people, and I'm pretty good judge of character at this point in my life. I can tell when somebody's genuine and when they're not. He's 1,000,000% genuine. That being said, I was in Portland, Maine. This is how I got involved. I was in Portland, Maine in a sober house in 2018. And I just got out of prison myself, and I was just getting sober. And I was in the Portland recovery community, which is affiliated with a lot of different places, I guess. Granite being one of them. The Plymouth House was another, and it was a series of sober houses that were linked to these particular recovery centers. And you would get sent there afterwards, and you'd be in kind of the greater network of either Eric's center or the Plymouth House, or so you kind of get in the picture there, right? In that, and so everybody that was in these sober houses had either just came from the Plymouth House or had just came from Granite Recovery, which Eric owned, right? So now you're in this greater community, and you're going to meetings and working with people and establishing, connection with people that are in the same boat as you. And then there's people in that community that, leaders or leaders, right? Real leaders and then fake leaders, right? That are affiliated with these places. I came into friendship with a girl that had just gotten out of Granite and had just left there, like fresh left there. And we were friends, and she started confiding in me that Spofford was sending her dick pics and trying to fuck her and everything else. And this is before I had done any work on myself at all. Like I said, I was just out of prison, so this recovery scene was new to me. I hadn't done any spiritual work whatsoever on myself yet. I was pretty crazy at the time, coming off drugs, coming out of a pretty long prison sentence myself.
So what was Eric saying in the messages?
Yeah, he was just sending her dick pics and
just out of nowhere, just dick pics.
Yeah, basically, yeah. He got her Snapchat information and was just letting cock pics fly away.
And what would she say in return?
I think that she was pretty confused and didn't know really what to do. Was just trying to gently brush him off, and she didn't go sleep with him. But I think that I don't know for a fact because but I think that she probably felt like, I don't know, compelled to answer or
in the story, was she Elizabeth in the story? That was her surname. That was her fake name.
Yeah.
Okay, and she was her voice in the podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so is she out now or about who she is, or is she one of the people who was sued?
She didn't get sued, no, because her real identity didn't get
But Eric could figure out who she is.
Oh,
right?
he knows who she is. He's tried through third parties to try to get her to stop talking.
Oh, really? Because, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose if he sued her, he would be admitting that he messaged her.
Yeah, he'd be admitting that, yes, I sent this girl a dick pic and I don't want her to tell the truth.
Yes, right. Okay. So you think you agree with my analysis of Eric Spofford that he's just complete fraud, piece of shit?
He's totally fraudulent. I mean, the guy got sober at what, 21 years old. He's from New Hampshire. I mean, he talks about being from the streets. I'm from South Boston. I know what the streets look like. They don't look like any street in New Hampshire. He got sober at 21 years old and inherited some type of property from his daddy. And he has this, I think he's listened to too much rap music and he's watched too many gangster movies and this fucking thing that he thinks that he has to be some streetwise boardroom tough guy fucking wannabe gangster. He has enough money now to literally implant this fake identity. Isn't that nuts if you think about that?
No, it's making him a lot of money.
Yeah,
so it's doing something, and he's got an army of people who believe in this shit.
Like but they're morons.
They are. They're total morons.
Anybody that can see clearly, like you or I, there's plenty of people that see through them too. Yeah, they're morons. They're impressionable idiots, is what they are. You know.
Right. What I just can't understand is that he's still able to do it. Like he just opened up another one in Columbus, Ohio, didn't he?
Yeah, Treatment X, and then he's affiliated. But it sucks because Aidan, the truth is, there's a lot of good people in this industry that devote their lives to helping people. Rockland Recovery down here in Massachusetts, they do it the right way. The owner's a great guy. All his staff are proper. Lisa Nashawati up in Portland, Maine, she's phenomenal. She's the real deal. Her heart's in it. With Soul Sanctuary, there's a ton. Jimmy Bradley, one of a good personal friend of mine. I mean, that kid gets people in treatment all the time, like at 2:00 in the morning. You know, there's many really pure-hearted, good human beings, and the fact is that a guy like this is a total blight on everybody's efforts. You know what I mean? Here's the thing: he's learned exactly how you hit the nail on the head, how to scam insurance companies. And he's basically taught a whole slew of fucking equal retarded morons like to do this, right?
Like Labarge.
Yeah. And they do it, right? And so now that the industry has been infested with scum, you know, it's easy to see. They all take pictures of and little captions of how much they help people while they're on fucking personal private jets and on vacations and everything else. And they're cashing astronomical checks on a weekly basis. And they don't even know the person's fucking name who is in their center or hasn't met their families. And it's disgusting.
It is. Yeah. Cause it's just like, I have no problem people making money, but this dude is just bragging about it. Like, it's like this great idea. Like, oh, it's a great, like if drug dependency ended tomorrow, and people stop doing drugs, Eric would go broke. He needs an opiate epidemic to make money.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't want to actually do anything illegal because his tough guy persona would get put to the test in a actual real prison with real tough guys.
Well,
right?
I think if he orchestrated this attack on the reporters, which I'm positive he did.
Oh, I know for a fact he did. I called it the day after it happened.
Why do you say for a fact?
Because it's so easy to put those pieces together.
I mean, common sense tells us he did it, but has he told anyone, or is there anyone with knowledge of this?
And look at his own comment there. There's somebody loyal to me. Just they must have just like he's that much of an idiot. He would like to throw out subliminal messaging like that to make himself look like some kind of mob boss. This something cemented this guy's brain is like.
So for those of you unfamiliar, Eric told NHPR when they asked him about he goes, I don't know, maybe there's a lot of people who are really loyal to me, so maybe one of them did it. And it's like, come on, nobody's that loyal to you that they're going to throw a brick through, first of all, not just her window, but her parents and an apartment that she used to live in on the Vermont border.
You know what another thing said? You want to hear this? Want to hear a good comment that's going to make you laugh?
Oh, yeah.
Because he's from the streets and he's such a tough guy. in the lawsuit against me, he said that when this came out, he had to flee New Hampshire.
Oh my God.
He's in the witness protection program down in Florida now.
He's really stupid. Like if he did this, they're
Yeah.
going. Do you think they're going to rat on him? Do you think Labarge would rat on him?
You hire 3 street level junkies to do this. Now the feds. Now listen, you know anything about indictments or anything like that? Like the feds play for keeps.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Their target is not 3 junkies. That's not their target.
But when they come, their whole purpose is to build a bigger case and to create. Right. They have a 92% conviction rate for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Not beating them in court. So 1,000%, they're going to lean on the 3 of them. None of these 3 idiots are going to go do 5 to 10 years in a federal prison.
Well, they might give up Labarge if Labarge was their contact. But the question is, will Labarge give up Spofford?
I don't know. You know,
because he will, because Labarge has a long and documented criminal past.
Yeah.
He gets a charge like this, he's going away for life. Like he's not getting out unless he rats.
I don't want to assume what anybody would do, but I don't think that he's going to do 20 years for Eric Spofford. No.
Yeah, he might. He might. Like they fucking worship that guy. Like they fucking worship the ground he walked. I mean, think about it. He literally organized a bunch of people to do this in defense of Eric Spofford. He didn't have to do that. Why did Eric Labarge even need to get involved in this?
Well, I mean, Eric actually, I don't know, you know, probably
to please him, to show the master, like, look what I'll do for you. I got your back.
Yeah.
That cunt's going to think twice about reporting news ever again. Fuck her.
I'm sure that loyalty will go away with the 20-year sentence possibly looming over your head.
Well, I hope so. Cause I mean, this dude, just his arrogance alone offends me. Like what he thinks he can get away with offends me.
They're clearly saying it in the paperwork. He's subject 1. The feds are looking in on this.
Yeah, he's subject 1. Yeah, it's never good when you're called subject 1.
No, so they're already basically telling you that they're building a bigger case.
Right,
you know?
right.
I guarantee you that I mean, you called it a year ago. I called it too. I just don't have a platform like you do, you know. But I called. I would be very, very safe to say that the 2 of them are going to be getting arrested pretty soon for this.
That would be fucking phenomenal. Because, like you said, he's in big fuck. Like you can't do that to a reporter, especially an NPR reporter. Like they are not a woman. Like you can't terrorize. The feds are not going to fuck around with that. They're going to make an example of him.
That he noticed to terrorize a woman, right?
He's not that too.
Well, they have that's his history, right? Sexually assaulting women, degrading women, right? Calling women liars. Now you're assaulting women. You didn't come after me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Well, he's suing you, but he's not coming out. He's not threatening you or whatever. Like you're right. He preys on women. Do you know the woman that he had the kid with, Persephone? Like
I don't know.
Is he going after her too?
Yeah, they're having something because of this. Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah, didn't he accuse her of being a source? I don't even know.
Yeah, he did.
It's just imagine doing that to the mother of your children. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Look at the quality of his character. Could you or I imagine doing it? No, but look at his. You saw that video that you just showed was him doing a live feed on a yacht with a lion's head fucking chain. I mean, are you kidding me?
I mean, dude, it's like he acts like he's like, you know, Elon Musk or something. Like you own recovery homes. Like that's not a product.
That video, just the lion's head chain is really
the lion's head chain. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to move on to the next story, but thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Anytime. No problem.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. I'm going to read a couple turtle chats and then I'm going to do my laundry real quick and then I'll play a video. So, we got a turtle chat here from Tish says, $10 sends $10 says put clothes in dryer now so they don't smell. I got to put them in the wash first. And then we got another one here from Jack. Jack sends $100. Thank you, Jack. He says, correct me if I'm wrong, but if Lally said that Jen Googled die in cold at an earlier time than the data shows, doesn't that argument make it stronger case of premeditated murder by Jen? He said it reloaded a tab from earlier. She doesn't have a time. I don't even understand what he said. I think he said that she Googled it at 6:24 and that's what he was referring to. He offered no evidence to back up. I don't know. I just call it lally-splaining. It makes no sense at all. And good luck trying to make sense of it. Like the dude's just making shit up as he goes along. Okay. Let me play. I'll be right. Let me find a good video I can play for you while I run along and do my. I gotta go I was supposed to put my clothes in the laundry. I need like a 2-minute video to play here. Is there a good video? They want snipers on the. I don't have snipers. Oh, okay. That's what I'll play. Snipers on the roof. How about that? Snipers on the roof. What's that? Giannetti's urine stash. Giannetti's. Let me send the link to that. I'll play that while I go do that real quick. Hold on. A clean urine stash. That's right. Sniper on a roof. Sniper on a roof. Can you send it to me in a DM on Facebook so I can play it? All right, hold on. They want snipers. Yeah, I got that. Hold on. Man, clean urine stash is really going after this fat chick. Where's the Giannetti videos? Clean urine stash. Sniper on the roof. We got to play a Giannetti video. Anyone got it? Come on. Somebody send it. Come on. Hook me up. People. Should always have a bag of clean urine. I brought Giannetti up at the deposition. We're going to get to that in a moment. They want, yeah, I got the text. They keep getting this text. They want snipers on the roof. Somebody needs to send it to me. I'm running a show here. Thank you, 7-pounder. Okay. Got it. All right. Thank you. Wait, 7-pounder, you sent me a link? You sent me a link to the fucking show, 7-pounder. Are you fucking kidding me? You sent me a link to the fucking show that we're watching right now. I was about to thank you, and then I get a link to the fucking show. Why would anyone... Like, you got to be kidding me. Okay, let's see if this one works out. You sent it again, 7-pounder, twice now. Okay. All right, Matt Ferrer. Let's see. He got it. There. That wasn't fucking hard. Okay. Let me play this video. Like, hey, guys, here's a video of the show we're watching. All right.
You made me a superstar. Everywhere I go.
Wait, this isn't Sniper on the Roof. No, they want the fucking, you know which video? Somebody's got the fucking video. Somebody got it, right? The Giannetti fucking video. You know what I'm talking about. If you want to watch the fucking video, then send it to me. Everyone's like, I want to watch the Sniper on the Roof video. Then fucking send it. You know which one I'm talking about, right? We're all talking about the same fucking video. The Giannetti compilation video. The greatest hits one. Or else I'm just going to throw something on. Okay, hopefully this is it from Joy. I'm trusting this one. Trusting this one. Now I'm getting people sending it. No, not the latest disc. It's the... Here it is. We got it. We got it. That wasn't hard. Okay, we got it. Thank you. Who sent this? We'll find out in 1 sec.
Oh, hi. This is Mike Gambino Giannetti. Is your teenage girlfriend giving you a hard time about never growing up? Are you suffering from arrested development and long for the early years? Well, here's the album for you. Trapping with Mike, the greatest hits. Featuring such hits as Sniper on the Roof, the living room version. Snipers on the Roof. Snipers on the Roof. Shoot Aidan, Kearney. Sniper on the Roof, the cover version. And Candid Rape
Slept with me in the shower, then before in the bed, she looked at my penis. I wanted to get high on crack. I tried to put it in. She was nodding out. I didn't even get it in. Pulled it out. Where you going? Starts banging her head off the head. Off the thing. I leave.
That was a fun one. Calm down. Those timeless hits like the feds watching.
Fresh with them feds watching. I'll be looking fresh with them feds watching. I'll be looking fresh with them feds watching. New whip, yeah.
Go back in time. Go back in time with this hit.
In a 5-foot radius of me, I'm untouchable, unbreakable like Willis. Leave you broken and hopeless like last man Samuel Jackson. I'm smashing your chick, then I'm dashing.
Get a little crazy in the backseat with your anti-Semitism.
And that's why I'm still here. You're pretty fool for C, not what you me. I was always the king of HP.
Oh,
Ain't no rat, that's the red Giannetti. You see the record?
He's like the definition of a rat.
The number one hit. Keep an eye on your kids. I don't fuck kids, by the way.
Amber alert. He's on alert. Go arrest baby Bella. You hacked on my phone and took pictures of my dick? Oh, really?
Oh, now we'll throw in the bathroom version. Sniper on the roof. And of course, Sniper on the roof. Kitchen version.
Everybody kidnap my son and make him a transgender baby. Are you crazy?
European dance sensation.
You can't get over the transgender baby thing.
For our Latino friends, no
I don't
hablo
listen
English.
to you bro niggas. I don't hablo no English. I don't listen to you trolls.
Your friends, they're starting families, they're getting jobs. Well, why don't you call now? See, sitting on your couch doing nothing. Order the video. And if you call now, we'll throw in this one hit. Oh, fuck.
Come on, Gab, a pen and quality pen and Macedon. You feel like weirdos, something. Where are they weirdos back there going down?
He's not kidding. Like, he's dead serious. This is not an act at all.
I'm not high, by the way. I'm tired. I was just tired.
He's streaming. Oh, the best is...
That was a fun one.
That's a fun...
Well, call now, everybody. 1-800-364-1221. 18 or older to call. Or if you're younger, call me. This is Mike Giannetti.
That never gets old. Okay. All right. Thanks for bearing with me. Again, if anyone else would like to donate to the program, you could click at the link at the top. That brings you to something called Turtle Chat. You can do it that way, or you can do a Cash App at $ Uncle Turtleboy is my Cash App. I'll get the notification on my phone, and I will read your message out loud to the class. Okay. All right. So let's jump back on and talk about real quick before we talk about some Canton stuff. I want to talk about Julia Mejia in this lawsuit. Now, we read a lot of the depot on Turtle Chat the other night, but I want to go over some of the highlights again, okay? Because this is just too freaking good. So, and talk about, and I'm on like a theme here tonight about the law and order and the lack of it in this country. And Eric Spofford's lawsuit is stupid, and Julia Mejia's is even more stupid, because she's an elected official coming after, like, trying to sue a journalist. She's not throwing rocks through my window, but she might as well be. And so she hires scumbag attorney Anthony Ellison. Go back and read the blog I wrote about this guy. I forgot what a fucking animal this dude is. Like, some of the things that this dude has been charged with: abuse of kids, abuse of women. He's a bad dude. But anyway, we'll do Where You're Up in a little after this one before our next. But anyway, so he's suing me over these two blogs for Julia Mejia. Julia Mejia is a Boston City Councilor. So Boston City Councilor who live streamed shooting victim's corpse instead of calling police has attempted to defund the police, is close friends with Monica Cannon Grant. This is a blog from February of 2021. The second blog is Boston City Councilor Julia Mejia makes Twitter account private after being asked about allegations of drunk driving and drug use. So I had heard many people on Twitter and other places sending me messages talking about alleged drunk driving, that this woman was involved in a DUI with a lieutenant from the Boston Fire Department, and that they were let go after she kind of said, like, do you know who I am? And they got away with it. Now, Anthony Ellison is probably going to take what I just said there. This is what this motherfucker does, is he takes clips of what I just said and left out the first part where I said I had been hearing these things from people and sources were telling me, and he'll just play the part where I said she was driving drunk, right? That's what this guy did throughout the whole deposition. It was so dishonest and in bad faith, and I called his ass out on it. And like, I don't know with these people, like, they think like just because I'm in a deposition, I'm going to pay you respect. I'm absolutely not. I have no respect for you whatsoever. You're a piece of shit, and I have nothing but contempt for you. And I want to know who's paying you. Maybe I'll sue him. Maybe I'll sue his fat ass. Anyway, he's suing me for a lot of these comments. Anyway, the woman, let's talk about the first one's easy. Like the first one is like, she live streamed a murder scene outside of her house. And I'm not even the one who reported on it. Multiple other media outlets did, including Boston Live. And she apologized for it afterwards because the family of the deceased was really upset. I guess they said that his body was in it or something, and that she had crossed police lines. I didn't see the tape. Okay. I was taking a mental health break at the time. This is like one of my first comeback stories, is writing about this week-old story, and just I had very little to say about it.
Hello, everyone. It is Councilor at Large Julia Mejia.
Oh, God.
And normally,
oh, God.
When you see our videos, we're usually coming in on my blog. Earlier this week, can't keep up with the days anymore. And before I dive in, I want us to be super mindful of what the
Okay, so she apologizes, but if you did nothing wrong, what are you apologizing for? And the family of the deceased is calling her out on Facebook, and these were included in the Live Boston blog. And they're like, this apology is bullshit. You know, you caused unnecessary harm. What do you say here? It was a poor attempt to grab the spotlight. So you were doing this for clout. Why else would you feel the need to be like, I'm going to jump on fucking TikTok and share a live stream myself? Like, dude, get over your addiction to the internet, please. Anyway, that one should be an easy one to whatever. This one with the alleged DUI is different because I never said in my reporting that I'm sure of it. I actually said the opposite. I'm like, we don't have any evidence that this woman drove drunk. All we have are a lot of people saying this. And I wasn't even planning on printing that until I messaged her about it. So I messaged her and I'm like, hey, hi, Councilor. Aidan Kearney from Turtleboy Daily News. I'm reaching out for comment and reports I'm getting from sources within Boston Police that you were pulled over while driving drunk. Any truth to this? And all she had to say was no. And then I would have nothing to write about. But instead, what does she do? She makes her Twitter account private. So I can't, like, that's the story. The story was not her driving drunk. That's not proven. What is, I believe she did it. And I said this throughout the interview. Like, if you gone, in my opinion, what do I think? Yeah, I think that. I think she was driving drunk. Do I know that? No, I don't. But you're allowed to have opinions. You're allowed to have theories. This is what I think happened. As long as you clarify that and say, look, this is what I think happened. You're allowed to do that. There's nothing illegal about it. There's nothing defamatory about that. As long as you preface it with, this is what I think happened. And everything I say on the show is what I believe. It's like understood that these are my opinions when you come on the show. What I write in the blog is fact. When I come on the show, this is where I share my opinions about the facts. We review the facts and I share my opinions on it. And everyone knows that I add a little color to it, a little hyperbole, right? And yeah, it's like you can't take everything I fucking say literally. Like that's ridiculous. I say so much shit. No reasonable person would be like, everything he said is fucking, he was pretending it's true. Like, no, stop it. Like, that's not how any of this works. The bar for defamation in this country is high, specifically for situations like this. And I believed that these were true because of a few reasons. Number one, so many, the amount of people that were saying this, people who were credible in the past as sources, was off the charts. Off the charts. I was getting stonewalled at every turn, which made it seem more legitimate. And her past behavior, in which a Boston police officer filed a complaint against her for abuse of power after she used her power to kind of threaten him and be like, do you know who I am, after he wasn't directing traffic the way she wanted him to, led me to believe that this is the kind of individual she is. She would have no problem doing this. And I also made comments about, like, I'm like, a lot of people were telling me that she smoked crack. And I'm like, he played the clip where I was like, come on, crack. Like Mike Giannetti smokes crack. She's in the same camp as Mike Giannetti, but people were adamant about it. And I'm not saying she smokes crack. I don't know that. She hasn't submitted to a drug test. We might have asked her for that. She hasn't submitted to it. She's refusing. And yeah, I just look at her physical appearance and I say, you know, come on, look at those eyes. Now, also, I would argue that in the last couple of weeks, things that we've learned about Rachel Rollins and Michelle Wu, we saw her go through a red light. She wasn't driving, but her driver was, and she didn't tell her driver to stop. The driver was a cop, illegally put on blue lights to avoid sitting at a red light, and hit a mother and a child. And then the cop in her report blamed the mother and child. And Michelle Wu hasn't condemned them or said this officer's on leave or anything like that. Because that's what she does. That's what the powerful people do. And Rachel Rollins, we saw all her dirty text messages to Ricardo Arroyo and the things that she was doing to hurt Kevin Hayden. We know these people, when no one is looking, they abuse their power. So it's perfectly reasonable to assume that there was credibility to the story. Either way, this was my exact phraseology in there. I said, in the last 48 hours, we've been inundated with tips about looking into alleged drunk driving incident over the weekend in Boston involving City Councilor Julia Mejia. We don't print rumors or gossip as fact, but the allegations are troubling because multiple sources in the Boston Police Department have alleged that an unnamed Boston police officer gave her a pass and allowed her to get a ride home. Alleged. Everything I just said there is true. I never said she did this. I'm saying people are saying she did this, which is a fact. It's a fact that people are saying she did this. That's just me talking about what people are saying. You're allowed to talk about what people are saying. And that's what I was doing here. To be clear, we have no concrete evidence that this happened, as the city is thus far refusing to hand over body cam footage. That is a fact. We tried to get it and were denied. She was not arrested. However, the allegations gain credibility due to the volumes of tips that we received. So I reached out to her for comment and she did not get back. Boom. That is stellar phraseology, stellar reporting. That is how you stay within the boundaries of libel law. That's how you do it right there, folks. Take notes. Now, I get in there and this dude's immediately like talking about my personal life, asking about kids and shit. Like, okay, creeper. He wanted to know the names of all of you people donating. Like, oh, I want to know the names of all your donors. And I'm like, yeah, well, that ain't happening. That's not happening. Like, you want 7-Pounder's name? Okay. So he wanted all that. I'm not going to do that. He asked me what type of audience I'm trying to attract. And so I'm like, people who seek truth. Yeah. Okay. As you define truth, correct? I'm like, no, not as I define truth, the truth. So we're trying to do what's called anti-slap. Anti-slap laws basically give defendants a way to quickly dismiss frivolous lawsuits, known as strategic lawsuits against public participation. These lawsuits are filed against them for exercising speech, press, assembly, petition, or association rights. And in Massachusetts, it has to involve a government official. She's a government official. So if we're going to argue that I am petitioning the government with my blog, which I am, almost every blog I write has some sort of call to action, right? And the call to action with Julia Mejia is vote her out. There's nothing we can do. There's no petitions to sign, nothing like that. Vote her out, Boston. Like, that's my pitch here. A woman like this should not be running the city. Like, Boston deserves better than this. And so he's all asking me about, like, well, have you ever stood up in front of the city council meeting, you know, and you go and you get potential voters or residents of the community and have them sign on to your concern and then file that with the government? I'm like, yeah, we call those elections, dude. Okay. Like what you described there, it's called an election, but okay. He tried to trip me up and get me to admit that Mejia didn't hear the gunshots outside her house. But like, how do you not hear gunshots? And everything I reported came from Boston Live. Like everything I copied and like this screenshot came from Boston Live. That came from Boston Live. This is Julia Mejia apologizes after live streaming crime scene. That's Boston Herald. Like she did all that. Boston Live published all of this. And they stand by it. They're not suing them. That's interesting. So I quoted it and I simply commented on it, and I have the right to do that as much as she wishes that I didn't. So throughout the depot, we kept playing out of context clips. You know how they do. Like when they play that clip of me saying, oh, go and kill yourself. Like they don't play the whole fucking thing. Like they don't hear what happens after when he's like, I'm not suicidal. I know it not. I'm going to do it just to get revenge on you. Okay, then do it. They never play that part. They always play the go kill yourself part. Okay. Anyway, so a couple interesting things that I also learned here. I'm going to skip through a lot of this. Go read the blog if you haven't already. It's pretty wild. He tried to get me to admit that Boston Live was not credible because they're conservative. I'm like, okay. He's asking me like, he goes, do you know who funds Boston Live? What? Like, do you know what their mission statement is? I'm like, what is this? The Boy Scouts of America? No, I don't know their fucking mission statement, nor do I give a shit. They printed something that was true and I commented on it. Calm down. I trust their reporting, okay? Then he starts going in this whole thing defending Ricardo Arroyo, which was bizarre. Like, dude, are you defending Ricardo Arroyo? Because I believe 100% that he is a sexual deviant, and most people do. That's why he lost the district attorney race, okay? Then he tried to get me the names of my sources. Like, who is PFWV Boston at Miss 5507 and Never Dementia, which sounds like the opposite of Never Trump. They're saying so some person on Twitter, like, I don't know who the fuck they are. Like, I care. So he's trying to get all these sources out of me. And then, like I said, in the Karen Reed case, the prosecution has accused the defense of going on a fishing expedition. But what she's doing is an actual fishing expedition. Because they're like what they're looking for. All this lawsuit is looking for, the whole purpose of this lawsuit, I realized it during the depot, is to get the names of the Boston police officers I spoke with. This was a woman who just voted to defund the Boston police by like $31 million. And Michelle Wu vetoed it, by the way, it's so funny. They're all anti-police until they become the adult in the room. And then they'll look at they become the mayor and they're like, oh shit, yeah, I can't do that. That's fucking crazy talk. I'm not going to do that. So, I forget. So she wants the names of these police officers so she can punish them because she's shown that before with that other officer that filed a complaint against her. This is how she does. So I'm like, I see what you're doing, dude. You know, I'm not stupid. He's all asking me for my sources. Now this was fucking weird. Okay. All of a sudden he brings out this screenshot. Let me show this to you. And this is what he's claiming is a conversation between me and a man named Cam Goggins. Cam Goggins is the editor and CEO, or was the editor and CEO of Live Boston. They are the ones who initially published the story about her live streaming the murder. And Cam is just a guy that I've collaborated with, talked about stories. He'll give me information if he has any. I give him. I like him. And I find he's like a colleague kind of, you know? And anyway, I've talked to him many times. Usually we talk on the phone, it would be like, I'll text him, be like, hey, can you talk on the phone? And so this screenshot gets presented to me. And notice at the top of the screenshot, it says Cam. And that is indeed his avatar. But notice it says today at 4:15. That means the person who took this screenshot took it at the time with the foresight that this screenshot would be useful in the future. That's weird. Like, you knew that you were going to, this was going to come up in a lawsuit. Okay. And he's saying that this is me talking to Cam, even though it's clearly, it can't be me for a number of reasons. And so it says here, hey, can you call me? It's important. I just reviewed all the texts between us. Cam says, I'm good, so I'm not worried. And then they say that was after my time. So clearly it can't be me, because I don't know what my time would be, but I'm confident you're smarter than to tangle yourself up in all that. Thank you for the heads up, Cam says. I'll let my legal team know so they are aware. And then he says, and yeah, I tried to get the police records and talk to my sources, but there was absolutely zero evidence. So we dropped it. We would have published it if we had anything on it. And I'm like, that is clearly not me. But Ellison is reading, and I'm like, how did you, because this text message is not from Cam Goggins' perspective. It's from whoever's in the blue, which isn't me. So who the fuck is this? And I talked to Cam about this, and he went through his phone and the keyword searched it because he would like to know, like, who the fuck is screenshotting my messages and sending them to these assholes? And there's nothing in his messages about this. And he's like, I don't know. I've never seen this before. I have no fucking clue what this is. Like, he's never seen this. And like, he has no, like, he's on my side. Like, he has no reason to think anything is up like this. Like, I talked to him about the Julia Mejia story going ahead of time. And he knew that, like, he knew about it before I did. We collaborated on this. But so I'm like looking at this and I'm like, well, that's fucking weird. And look who's been like sharing it. Krusty Panties has been sharing it left and right. Like all the time. And remember, this is the same woman who last week, and I hate fucking bringing this woman up, but she just loves to insert herself into, she can't get over her obsession with me. So she inserts herself and she has nothing to talk about. Obviously, nobody's watching her dying fucking channel. How you subs doing there, Krusty Panties? Not so good. Yeah, I left you in the fucking dust, didn't I? Yeah. Suck on that. So she has to insert herself into what I'm talking about, which has been mostly Canton and Karen Reed lately. And we know that like a couple weeks ago, she sent me an email that I read on the show. And I specifically said, I don't know if this is legit or not, but here's an email I just got. So I read the fucking email out loud and I'm like, wouldn't this be crazy if it's true? And the email alleged that Colin Albert was like selling drugs out of D&E Pizza. And I even said, I find that a little bit hard to believe that D&E is a fucking front for drugs. I find that a little far-fetched. So she sent, and I'm like, okay. And the only thing I wrote back to this individual was like, hi, Mia, don't worry. We'll protect you. Do you have screenshots to back up anything that you're saying? And as it turns out, it was just Krusty Panties the whole time. And she's like, did an hour-long stream where she's like, ho, I tricked him. He's printing fake news. I never printed this, Krusty Panties. I never fucking printed it. I read the fucking email out loud in the show. I said, I don't know if this is fucking true or not. I have no idea, but I never printed it. The blog, again, the blog is what I do. The blog is where I put news. This show is fucking fun and commentary. That's it. And I'll usually come to a disclaimer. I don't know if this part's true. I don't fucking know. But the blog, I will not publish something if you can't back it up. And so she involves herself in this, but it just shows that she's not above manipulation because she fucking, here's the email she sent. And I'm like, okay. And so she sends a fucking doctored screenshot purporting to be Colin Albert selling drugs. So we know that she's certainly not above doctoring some shit, right? This is a woman who spoofs phone numbers, makes things look like they're coming from me. She called her own fucking daughter and spoofed my phone number to her daughter's phone to try to get me arrested. Like, that was crazy. She's a psychopath, like an absolute psychopath. Like, we've been so focused on Canton, and she sees it and she's like, I have to fucking involve myself in this somehow. And she sees my lawsuit with Julia Mejia and she does the same thing. Like, I have to fucking involve myself and I can't be left out. So she contacts attorney Ellison, clearly sends him this screenshot, and Ellison enters it into fucking evidence. And I didn't put this together till I wrote this blog. I'm like, oh, she sent it, huh? And so obviously I've talked to Mark about that, and we're dealing with it, that they are literally fabricating evidence for court to try to get me jammed up on something. Good luck proving that, because it's all fucking made up. And just listen to this. Listen to this psychopath.
Canton says, I told him it was just a rumor. I could never prove it. He knew that. I had absolutely no evidence. I said it was a rumor that I heard, and he ran with it anyway.
No, that's actually not what she said. That's not what she said at all. She and I had many conversations about this. She knows it's fucking, like, she believes it to be true. I believe it to be true. And we were working a lot of sources on that together, because obviously she has sources within the Boston Police Department. At the time, she was still employed by the Boston Police Department.
Now, the other person
Listen
that
to
he
this.
names is a publication named Live Boston, run by a guy named Cam. So I personally talked to Cam about this very briefly, and he said, I told him it was just a rumor. I couldn't substantiate it with my police sources, and I could never get a police record. I tried to get one.
So I spoke with Cam. I did. So is she saying that I'm the other person on the end of those text messages? Because Cam, I'm like, as soon as I heard this, I'm like, yeah, fuck, right. Like, Kate, nobody knows who you are. If Cam Goggins got a message from you, he would be like, who the fuck are you? Like, nobody knows what you are, who you are. Nobody knows about your stupid channel. Nobody cares. You're not relevant enough. Okay. You don't matter in the Boston media landscape. You're nobody.
No record of it. Nobody ever said that this was true. And I told him that it was just a rumor, and he ran with it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay?
He never said
Right?
that. Yeah.
I don't know how that civil case is going to go. I know that with Live Boston, I got that statement in text, and I gave it to Julia's attorney once I got it. Right.
So I got that statement in text, and I gave it to Julia's attorney. So thank you for admitting, Kate, that you gave the attorney that. That's going to be very useful for us to help get this whole thing dismissed. Because obviously you entered fake evidence intentionally into this. And I love the confidence about, like, oh, you know, he's going down for this. If you'll recall, what did Kate say was going to happen with the restraining order? Oh, right. She said she was going to get that, right? Or
how you doing, shithead?
You know, right now I am on alert to make sure that a coked up tiny sex goblin does not come and snatch my fucking kid because he just violated the restraining order that was just, I believe, served to him either yesterday about.
Or how about this one? What did she say about Tony Branch? How was I going to do against Tony Branch in court? Legal expert Catherine Peter.
And why would you think that he couldn't talk about it? Well, he couldn't talk about it because he is probably going to get smoked. So.
Smoked against Tony Branch. Why am I going to get smoked?
Well, spoiler alert. Mr. Branch is not a fake bishop. He is ordained. So it's kind of damaging to one's professional reputation for someone to go out and allege that your professional credentials are not legitimate.
It turned out he wasn't. It turned out I was right. And that got dismissed. No matter how many times I win, she's like, this is the one where you're definitely going down. Okay, sure thing. Wait, just insert yourself some more. She also inserted herself into that. Like, she's a fucking psychopath, dude. And she won't, like, I don't even talk about her. She just doesn't go away. And so there's that. I mean, it's really not a problem. Like, it's actually helping with this one, because now we know she's admitted it's fake. So now we can use that to our advantage. To help get this dismissed, and the hearing for it is in September. So we have filed a motion to dismiss in this lawsuit, and it will be heard in September. I asked Cam about it, and this is what Cam says. He goes, who the fuck is that? I can say with 100% certainty, I never spoke to that thing. So Cam called you a thing. He goes, I can't even find these messages. They're not in my phone, you know? So anyway, it's probably manufactured by her and blah, blah, blah. So he's questioning me about that. And it's like, so you had a conversation with Cam Goggins. You're saying this is me? No. Okay, whatever you're saying here. Anyway, I talk about Shane as a civil rights icon. The dude doesn't understand what unread messages mean. Every time he disputed that the goal of the lawsuit is to silence me, but clearly it is. Like, obviously that's what you're doing here. Who would ever want to talk if you had to deal with this shit every time you talked, you know? And then he tried to take my fucking phone. This is what he writes. Back on the record, I just want the record to reflect that Mr. Kearney had his phone in his lap. Mr. Rendaz has taken away from him. I'm like, I'm texting, I'm doing real shit here, like texting the mother of my kids and being like, you need to pick up the kids at school because I won't be home. This is like what grown-ups do. Like, you know, rich, important shit. This year, your fucking clients hurt feelings. That's not fucking important. No one gives a shit about this. This is going to get dismissed. Meanwhile, I got a fucking 5-year-old who needs to get picked up at school and he demands my fucking phone. Like, you can suck my dick for my phone, Anthony Ellison. Seriously, you can lick my dirty balls if you think you're getting my fucking phone. I will throw it in the goddamn ocean. You're not getting shit. Anyway, so he brought up the blog that I wrote about him, which is awkward. He then gave me an opportunity to make fun of his client for being a moron. I had to explain what a meme was. He's like, do you remember saying that? I go, yeah, what an idiot about her. He goes, and you put a picture of her at the front of that, correct? I go, it's called a meme, sir, not a picture. Okay, it's a meme. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And your meme, is that what the meme you're referring to? Yeah, that's a meme. Let's direct the attention to the meme. If, in fact, you have the meme. Who created this meme? I go, I don't know. Someone on Twitter. Like, this is what we're doing, meme gate. Like, we're going to talk about who made the goddamn meme. Who made the meme? Okay. So you took that meme and you put it on your blog. I did. Guilty as charged. And there you have a bottle of Jack Daniels. That's right. With a glass of ice, and it seems it's filled with some of the Jack Daniels. Or that's the implication. All right, that's up to the reader to decide. And then there's something in her hand, right? Yeah, what is that? Looks like she's smoking pot. You wouldn't say that's a crack pipe? I go, I don't smoke crack, so I couldn't tell you what a crack pipe looks like. You tell me what a crack pipe looks like. I go, it looked like a weed pipe to me. Okay, the implication is that it's not a crack pipe. The implication is it's a meme and it's a joke. So you're trying to be funny there. Yeah, I thought it was, yeah. You crack. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. You humorless asshole. Okay, that she smokes crack and that she's, I guess, reference to her drunk driving, correct? I go, there's nothing in that references drunk driving. It's a fucking meme. And so Julia really doesn't like this meme, guys. So please stop sharing that meme of Julia, who is totally not smoking crack or whatever. And then we talk about Giannetti. And he plays part of my quote here, and it goes on the show. I said, everyone's talking. Now I've heard so much shit about this woman. People have said the crack angle. Like when I first heard this, everyone was like, they were smoking crack together. That's what so many people told me. I'm like, smoking crack? This is a city councilor we're talking about. She's smoking crack? That's me being like, I find that hard to believe. Like he doesn't play the rest. Yeah. I go, that's your voice in there? It is. He goes, who's Mike Giannetti? I'm like, Mike, how the fuck are we talking about Mike Giannetti? Like Mike Giannetti we're talking about? Okay, let's go there. But who is he? I go, he's a crackhead. But who is he? And why would people know him? Because they watch Turtleboy. He's a famous crackhead. I don't know what to tell you. Because I've done many blogs about him, and he's like an infamous crackhead. Is he a public official? No, he's just a crackhead. This is a fucking deposition. We're talking about Mike Giannetti. I'm like, he's just a crackhead. It's Mike Giannetti. If I had to explain the humor of Mike Giannetti being a crackhead, we're just not on the same wavelength, my dude. He's just a crackhead. I don't know. He goes, why are you making relations with him and Julia Mejia then? I'm like, I go, did you hear what I said on that? No, I said I'm saying that on there that I was initially expressing disbelief that his city councilor would be smoking crack because up until that point, I was under the impression that only people like Mike Giannetti smoke crack. Okay, and you have no firsthand knowledge that Julia Mejia has ever smoked crack. I go, I believe she does. Okay, what gives you her opinion? I don't know, her look. So her look, what about her look? She looks deteriorated, like she's rapidly deteriorated. Okay, she looks noticeably older and not like a noticeable 3-year aging process, like way older. She's got large bags under her eyes. She looks constantly sick and she just looks like she's on something. I don't fucking know. It's an opinion. You're allowed to have opinions. I don't know for sure she's on crack, but he goes, do you know people who are on crack? Yeah, Mike Giannetti. Do you know him at all? No, I really don't know him personally. So have you ever seen him smoke crack? Well, I know he smokes crack. He admits it. So what about Mike Giannetti's appearance is similar to Julia Mejia's? The eyes, for one thing. Okay, so fair to say you don't have familiarity with, outside of what you know of Mike Giannetti, the symptoms of crack use. He's far from the only crackhead I've written about. Okay, it's just like this is what we're doing now. Talking about Mike Giannetti smoking crack. Anyway, also he claims that her fundraising has been reduced after Mr. Kearney's false and defamatory statements. Fact check. Here's her OCPF records. I wrote the blog in December of 2015, and she went from a couple $100 a month to 25 grand. Maybe she makes that much every December. Nope. Last December, 4 grand. Now, October of 2021, when she's in the middle of a contentious re-election campaign, she got a similar amount. Like, why are all these donos coming in? She used this as a rallying cry to make, like, the white supremacists are coming after the first Afro-Latina she-her of TikTok girl boss. Give me money. Yeah. Okay. So we wrote a 389-page motion to dismiss. It's really good. I expect to hopefully, get this dismissed as it should be. This should not be. We are like, where's the rest of the media talking about this? Like, where are they? Like, you don't think it could happen to you? So if you write negative things about Julia Mejia, she's going to take you to court. Okay. You might, like, feels like that might be a threat to democracy a little bit. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. So I thought that my depositions are always fun, folks. The Gaffney one is still the best one, but there's been so many good depositions. I love deposition day, but okay. Let me read a couple turtle chats we got here. We got one from Bert, sends $10, says 7-pounder. Are we still on that milking later for Bert? Oh, is that guy Bert Killerin? Oh, gotcha. We also have a turtle chat on the Cash App from 7-pounder. He sends $10, says, I dare Junkie Julia to come after me for supporting. Sue me. Turtle riders are not scared. So there we go. So if you want to sue him, give it a shot. He called you Junkie Julia. Thank you. Melissa N sends $20. Says, for Unk is the only news source with balls. Well, thank you very much. I try my best. Okay. Why don't we do a little quick thing here? Where you repping? Let us know in the comments right now, and then we'll talk about Canton, the latest developments out of Canton that I got to talk about. So let's where you repping? Let us know where you're watching the live show from tonight. Go ahead. West Newberry, Upton's in the house. These go so fast now. There's so many, not the audience is bigger. Mejia's Crack Pipe, Malden, Worcester, Scituate, Billerica, Dennisport. Let's see, Southie, Lexington, Nashua, Hanson, Saugus, North Attleboro, Deluxeberry, Moultonboro, Vermont. Canton. Oh, nice. Everett's in the house. West fucking Quincy, baby. Rome, Georgia, Smith Falls, Dartmouth, Glendale, Arizona, East Bridgewater, Raymond, New Hampshire, Plymouth, Asheville, Lowell, Kentucky, Melrose, Franklin, Boxborough, Taunton, Lakeville, Wellesley, Avon, Gloucester, Shawana, Wisconsin, Danvers, Giannetti's Roof, Somerville, watching from Haverhill, Mass, and Julia Mejia's brain box. Dartmouth is in the house. Taunton, Lowell, California, Laguna Beach, Waterfall. Nice. Biden's basement, Gloucester, North Providence, Auburn, Canton, West Bridgewater, Southern Connecticut, Fall River, West Roxbury, Fall River, Eastham, Compton, Michelle Obama's Fupa Pouch, Brockton, Billerica, Raynham, Danvers, Fall River, East Weymouth, Dartmouth, Oxford, New York, Paxton, Dorchester, Stoneham, Compton. Okay, if I missed you, Albuquerque. They come in fast now, folks. They come in fast. So there is that. All right. So, you know what's been bothering me about Canton? I've been thinking about this a lot. A couple things on my mind about this one, right? All right. Number one is why, and this is how I know these motherfuckers are guilty and just something's not right here. Okay. Let's just imagine something. Okay. Imagine that your loved one gets killed, right? By somebody like Karen Reed, like an ex-girl, whatever, girlfriend, whoever. They're charged with murdering them. And you believe this to be true. You believe that this individual intentionally killed your loved one. And then that individual uses her powers of manipulation to convince and her money to bring in some high-fi, some fancy pants attorney. And he comes in here, and then you start holding press conferences on the courthouse steps. This person who killed your loved one, murdered them. What would you do? Seriously, I'm curious in the comments. What would you do? How would you react to that if somebody that you believe killed your loved one started holding press conferences and getting cheered on the courthouse steps? What would you do? It's a genuine question. I'm looking for people's reactions to this. How would you react to this? Let me read that. Love watching you on TikTok. Well, thank you, Kelly. I'd be furious. What else would you do? What would you do? You go at them? What would you do? Not sure. People saying kill them. This is what I'm thinking. I'd hold my own press conference, right? Like, that's what my mom would do. I think about what my mom would do. If I was killed, if I was murdered by someone, right? And the murderer became like a cause celebre. I don't know about you people, but my mom wouldn't put up with that. My mom would be like, okay, we're having our own fucking press conference over here, and we're going to speak truth to power. We're going to call this fucking killer out, this murderer out, right? That's what anyone would do if they really fucking believed that woman killed their loved one, right? Wouldn't that be a normal reaction to be like, no, this woman is a fucking killer. She did this. How dare she fucking disrespect his legacy like that? She did this to John, and then she has the audacity to blame us. Wouldn't that be a normal reaction if you truly believed they did it? But they don't. And that's why I'm like with the O'Keefes, like, enough of the fucking pity party for these fucking people. Like, enough of this shit. Their fucking loved one dies, and this woman is out here holding press conferences, and you're just going home. You don't have a fucking thing to say. Your fucking loved one was obviously killed by a bunch of assholes inside 34 Fairview, and you just don't give a fuck. You just don't care. You don't tell them, oh, they care, they love them. Do they? Is that what fucking love is? Because that ain't what love is to me. Oh, he's attacking the family. Criticizing. Definitely criticizing. Because they know she didn't do it. And that's why they're not holding fucking press conferences. Because they fucking know. And they're not saying a fucking word about it. Like, stop it. Like, it's just something I can't understand. Like, how can you sit there and stomach this if you truly believe that this woman killed your family. Exactly, Lisa. That's exactly what if I believed Karen killed my family member, I would hijack her interview. That's exactly what I would do. That is exactly what I would do. I'd be like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. But Matt McCabe and Jen McCabe, like they come with their buttons, right? Justice for JJ. They love everything with these people. They got the fucking JJ decal on her fucking Wagoneer. They got the blue lights at their house. They have all this shit. And they got nothing to say at court. Like, why aren't, like, when I'm confronting you about this, why aren't they turning it around on me and be like, notice they never say anything negative about Karen Reed. Where is the thirst for justice against Karen Reed? Because any other murder trial or murder case, the friends and family of the deceased are out for vengeance. They're out for justice. They're out. They wear justice for JJ buttons. Doesn't seem like they want it. It doesn't, like, that woman killed her. Right? That woman killed John O'Keefe, right? Why aren't you saying something to her? Like, why? That is fucking insane. In no other world would a fucking murder defendant be able to just have that sort of bravado and go out there and be unchallenged by the family and friends. It's just something I thought of. That's just like, that's another way you know that Karen Reed didn't do this and that they know it. There was only one person in this whole situation who truly believes Karen Reed did this. Who do you think that person is? I've found one. I guess two. Who do you think? Who is like the one or two persons that think they did it? They figured it was a done. Yeah, there it is. Thank you. Carl, that idiot Carl. He believes it. And you know how we know he believes it? Because he shows up because he interrupted her press conference. So that guy actually believes it. Because that's what you would do if you believed she did it. You would interrupt the press conference. So that's it. That he's literally the only one who believes it. No one else believes it. That includes Adam Lally. That includes the corrupt judge. And that's what we're going to call her because she is the corrupt judge, Beverly Canoni. Has anybody watched the Michael Chestnut murder trial? Anybody been watching that? That disgrace? She's the judge in that. She's the judge in that. And she is so favorable to the defense in that. It is crazy, which is wild because in the Karen Reed case, she's so favorable to the prosecution. She won't let Weymouth police officers wear their uniforms in court. She won't let witnesses cry or any, like, she's like lectures every one of them. You can't show emotion. You can't do this. You can't do that, blah, blah, blah. She's like going out of her way to show constant favoritism for the defendant because the guy is pushing an insanity plea. It's just a way to try to get out of fucking being responsible. This is what happens in a state with no death penalty. In a state with a death penalty, in his case, he would just take a plea for life in jail to avoid the chair. But in a state with no death penalty, you can play this card because you can't get the chair. So you might as well go this way. And Carl is a Boston cop. Yeah, that's the craziest part about this is he's actually dumber than Matt McCabe, which is hard to do. Very hard to do. I've met Matt McCabe a couple times. He's quite stupid. He's quite stupid. So, and the kids, you know, I feel bad for the kids, you know, his kids especially because, you know, they've lost their parents and now they lost the uncle who acted as a parent. And then they lost their female role model and not only lost her, but have been fed lies that she's a crazy psychopathic murderer who did this on purpose, which is just like, are you kidding me? So those kids, and now they're, you know, John O'Keefe was not a Canton townie. He's not from Canton. I'm sure he had plans. His life goal wasn't to stay in Canton his whole life and be a townie. Like his kids, I think John, I don't know if he went, I don't think he went to Zavarian. but I don't know where his kids go to school or anything like that. But I'm assuming they go to the Canton schools now. I assuming they want these kids to be around Jen McCabe's kids. Like they want them to be part of this whole incestuous town. Like that's what they want for them. And the kids are the victims because it's going to be too late for them. Like I'm sure their brains have already been washed with this shit and the lies, and they've bought into it. And like one day they woke up and they were living with Karen Reed and John O'Keefe. And the next day they're both gone. They're both gone. And that's just fucking horrible. Like I feel like that's not thought about enough. He did get his start in Duxbury. That's right. Yeah. Because he's not a Canton guy. Like he's not born and raised. That's probably why they didn't like him. Anyway, I want to bring up a couple things here that I hadn't thought about. So I've brought up some things before and they've already been discussed in court, like pretty much. And because I keep going back and looking through the transcripts and some of these questions are answered. Like for this, how about this one? Riddle me this. Did you know that Matt McCabe told Michael Proctor that he saw a V-shape pattern because Matt McCabe stands at windows during parties and looks outside. That's his thing. He's a gawker. And he didn't see Karen Reed hit John O'Keefe with the car, but he says that she was facing south on Fairview and then looked out the window. The car's gone, but there's an inverted V shape on the road in the snow, which would make no sense because there's like an inch of snow at that point. There would not be an inverted V shape. And so he's basically saying like that's the 3-point turn. But here's the thing about that this has already been brought up, which I didn't realize. Check this out. This transcript. This is what Alan Jackson brings up. If he looked out the window and saw and was able to see something as detailed as tire tracks some 40 yards away in the road, he would be looking directly across the yard where the body would be lying and a 6-foot man in dark clothing is, except he never saw a body. Oh yeah. I didn't even fucking think of that. It's just like, it's like it's a flat yard. Matt McCabe standing in the window. His vision is so fucking good that he sees a V shape in the road with less than an inch of snow, but somehow the gigantic human body that would have been in between his direct line of vision and the V shape doesn't enter his fucking line of vision. He just doesn't see it. He sees the V shape in the road, but he doesn't see the fucking body lying on the lawn. Not a single one of these assholes saw a fucking body. Nobody saw a fucking body. Like, that's crazy. Dude, this is going to be a comedy of errors if this goes to trial, which God willing it won't. And so other things have been brought up too. Let me see if I have here. Let's see. The longer. Okay. So remember Michael Proctor and the timestamp about when he said that he towed Karen Reed's vehicle from her parents' home in Dayton at 5:30 p.m. But then we have the alarm.com video that says 4:12, right? Turns out this has already been discussed in court. I didn't realize it. Here's what happened. This is what Lally said. It does have a time, a date and timestamp of 4:12 from the photograph, as the court can see. The subject vehicle is not on the wrecker at that point. It's not on the tow truck, but we've seen the picture. It is on the tow truck, and the tow truck is leaving. It's clearly in the middle of leaving. So he's just lying. Like, this is all, he just lies. Like, there's visual evidence showing otherwise. He's just going to lie. I have no idea whether or not that time and date stamp is accurate. Why wouldn't it be accurate? And whether it was an hour off because of daylight savings time. He just makes it up. This daylight, that makes no sense. If it would be, that would make it 5:12 p.m. and then 5:30 on the wrecker would conform to that. There's simply throughout the course of this recitation, as far as the taillight is concerned, being damaged in the driveway of Mr. O'Keefe's home, there is a Ring video application from his driveway which shows Miss Reed backing out of the driveway at 5:08. We obviously have her cell phone's whereabouts and movements. So all these assholes are like, she didn't turn over her cell phone and she had a fucking code on her phone. Do you think that matters? They're going to get in the cell phone. They're going to get a fucking warrant. They're going to get in it. And he goes, we obviously have her cell phone. So it takes about 21 minutes or so before she shows up at Miss McCabe's home, which is probably about a 2-minute drive from there. Yeah, because she retraced her steps. And by the way, it's in the middle of a snowstorm. Asshole. Okay. I don't even know what that proves. But from that video, the vehicle backs up with more than sufficient room to cut the wheel and make the maneuver without making any contact with the vehicle, which is parked in the back to the far right side of the driveway. Okay. We have Matt McCabe looking out over basically a hockey rink of a yard. Now, this is the prosecution, not seeing a body. We have wounds. If the dog was in the backyard, and we know the wounds are animal wounds, and those wounds would turn out to be dog wounds, then that puts Mr. O'Keefe's arm in the backyard, which puts him in the backyard. If there was no shoe found at the scene, remember there was no fucking shoe the first time? If there's no shoe found at the scene. Was the house searched? It was not. But then the shoe appears later on. Was the backyard searched? It was not. How is it conceivably possible that Trooper Proctor didn't search the entire house top to bottom for evidence of some sort of nefarious conduct leading up to his death? Like, he's got no fucking shoe. He's missed. There's a fucking shoe missing. Like, that's another part that's crazy. When the Canton police got there, there was only one shoe there. If Karen Reed hit him with the car, where did the fucking shoe go? Like, that's another thing we never talk about. Where's the fucking shoe? There's a missing shoe. It's not here. Where is it? Well, did you search the house? Nope. But it magically appeared 12 hours later. Oh, okay. Oh, and you know what else is missing? His hat. His hat was also fucking missing. Everything was missing. But, you know, nothing to see here. And miraculously, the next day, after 2 sets of officers, and I misspoke, the Commonwealth's right. It wasn't a snowblower. It was I was thinking of snow. It was a leaf blower that the Canton police used to blow the fucking snow off them. The shoe wasn't found until after 2 sets of officers had already searched the entire location. The whole location, found 12 hours later. And so, yeah, what do we have here? It must have been, so they claim, that this 3-point turn that led to the demise of Mr. O'Keefe, that's when she hit him. She's charged with murder for a 3-point turn. What's the problem with that? Mr. McCabe specifically says that I looked out the window and I could see tire tracks that were in the shape consistent with a 3-point turn. Well, he's looking across the yard, and I'll use a hockey rink as an analogy. It is as flat as you possibly get. I've been there. I've seen it. There's no undulations. There's no big ditches. There's no mountains or berms in the yard, just flat. If he looked out the window and saw and was able to see something as detailed as tire tracks from 40 yards down the road, he would be looking directly across the yard where the body would be laying. Except he saw nothing. How is that possible? How could he see tire tracks that led to Mr. O'Keefe being killed right there in the yard and not see Mr. O'Keefe? Only one of these things could be true. And it's like, Judge Canoni is keeping, like, you saw when I questioned Matt McCabe about this, you heard his answer for the Google search. Oh, she never did that. It's already been proven by other journalists. Like, picture, he can say that when we're at a lacrosse game, but how is he gonna, what's he gonna say on the stand? Because he's a witness in this. What is he going to say when Alan Jackson and David Giannetti are cross-examining him? He is going to wilt and make a fool of himself. What else we got here? McCabe could not have known about John's death before anybody else arrived at the scene. So yeah, that's the other thing. Like, we haven't talked about the fact that Julie Albert told Michael Proctor that Jen McCabe called her at 4:55 and said John O'Keefe's dead, which she would have no knowledge of at 4:55 if she didn't participate in killing him. McCabe could not have known about John's death before anybody ever arrived at the scene to find the body. Well, there's one way they can find out, because they knew from other witnesses that were at the Albert house that the body was there. That's the only explanation. So this has been brought up. Second, and just as troubling, Matthew McCabe and a lot of these people, Your Honor, I almost need an organizational chart to keep these individuals together, but they're all related by blood or marriage. Most of the people at the Albert house that night. There's a couple individuals, which we'll talk about in just a second, that were very, very close personal friends, but most of the people are related by blood or marriage. Matt McCabe, the brother-in-law to Brian Albert, has indicated in police reports that amazingly he looked at the kid. Okay, so we talked about that already. We got that part. What else do we have about here? One of the most compelling facts is the timing of when individuals involved in this scenario knew that John O'Keefe had met his demise. The allegations suggest that the first time they knew about his death was 6:04 a.m. when my client, along with Jennifer McCabe and Kerry Roberts, showed up at the scene and found his body laying prostrate in the front yard of the Albert house. Except for the fact that Julie Albert indicates in a police report in an unguarded moment, in an unguarded interview with the police, that she actually found out about him dying at 4:55. How did she find out? According to her, she got a phone call from Jennifer McCabe. That means someone's not telling the truth. That means there's something else going on here. How is it possible that Julie Albert and Jennifer McCabe could have known about John's death? Like, why? Like this, so this has already been brought up in court. Okay. And let's see who this is. But this phone call that Julie Albert is alleged to have received from Miss McCabe, indicating at 4:53 that O'Keefe was dead, it was a phone call that Miss Albert testified she missed and she was asleep. So was the intention of the phone call may have been to inform her of something, but it's not a phone call that she received. But she said, so this must be Lally talking, I'm guessing, because Julie Albert said that she answered the phone and Jen McCabe told her that. So what the fuck? Or how about this? As far as the 3-point turn is concerned, the only person, and this is a bit troubling as the case has gone on, the only person who's ever said that there was a 3-point turn by Miss Reed was Miss Reed to the troopers that day. None of the witnesses ever said they saw a 3-point turn. But Karen Reed didn't say that. Michael Proctor said Karen Reed said that. And Michael Proctor is a criminal piece of shit. Just the biggest low-life degenerate ever to exist. He's the ultimate villain in the story. There was some evidence of a 3-point turn. That's simply one of the varying accounts that Miss Reed provided to independent witnesses and the troopers over the course of this investigation. As far as the video confirming that evidence was tampered with, essentially it's apparently a ring video from the defendant's parents' house in Dighton. I've never seen the video. I've never seen it. This is Lally, anything beyond what's confined within this. So he's never even seen the video. She goes, whether she picked up the call, this is Julie Albert at 4:55, immediately and then listened to the voicemail or listened to the voicemail 5 minutes later, it's uncontroversial. That's her statement. Okay. I'm getting these a little confused. Number 2, with regard to the video, the Commonwealth just indicated. Yeah. So like, how about this? Number 2, with regard to the video, from the Dighton home. The Commonwealth just indicated there's no evidence that the timestamp on the video is right. Well, then make it right. If that's what the Commonwealth's position is, they've got all the government's resources. Go calibrate it. It's a Ring video. Pretty common knowledge. Like, you can get anything, like this whole idea of like, well, figure it out, Adam. Can you prove that it was actually 512 that didn't reset? Go fucking prove it. You can't do it. This is what Adam Lally does. You just throw shit out and says, yeah, okay, this works. I got no fucking evidence of it, but because I said so, and we can't have an evidentiary hearing about it, God knows. Yeah. Do we have anything else here? Okay. So I thought those were interesting, just reading over those transcripts. So basically, I have more coming on. A lot's going to happen in the next couple weeks with this. I don't really have all the details, but some shit's going to happen. So stay tuned for that. And, I mentioned this on Turtle Club the other night. I'll be very vague about this. Let's just say this. So you remember I told you guys in like December and January that like I had a thing I couldn't talk about because I didn't want to ruin it. And I'm like, but I said it's going to be big, right? And that was Timcast, that I was going on Timcast. And obviously that was, an honor to go on there, and it was a big deal. But what I am working on now, what I'm set to be involved in, it's going to make Timcast look like, Brett's after party. Like, that's what it's going to make it look like. Like what I'm potentially getting involved in. Talk about Year of the Turtle. It's fucking big. Think big. Think big. Like, you're going to, like, this is, trust me, Turtle is about to get a lot bigger. The Turtle haters are going to lose their fucking minds. That's all I'm going to say. They are going to lose. Like, people keep saying Dateline. I'm sure I'll be on Dateline. Like, but that's not what I'm talking about here. Like, bigger. No, Rogan's, this is, maybe if I was talking about fucking vaccines, right, Rogan would have me on. But just bigger than Dateline, like bigger. Just understand that. Okay. And it's big. So we'll leave it at that. I'm not going to get too into it. I want to talk about this douchebag here, Adam Traub, real quick. Not Adam Traub, David Traub. Because remember, for a while, I've been talking about these messages, and I finally just decided to do them. Now, this would obviously indicate the reason I held back. So David Traub is the official spokesperson for the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. And I know a guy who was high school friends with him and is a turtle rider and was messaging this guy in the immediate aftermath of our stories. And I saw and he would send me the messages, and I would talk about it on the show. I'd be like, dude, I've seen your messages, man. Wow. Maybe I should make these messages public. Cause I thought they were pretty revealing, these messages, cause it just showed, we'll see what they show. So, and again, this is the shit you can't get anywhere else, folks. You can't get it. So there's David Traub from Medfield. It's a goober. He's a Zavarian boy who went to Holy Cross. So he's basically, his goal in life is to become a political hack. He worked for a couple newspapers before realizing he wasn't very good at that. So then he became a staffer for Bill Keating. When he was a state senator, Bill Keating is now a United States congressman. And then he became the communications director for him when Keating became the Norfolk County District Attorney in 1998 and donated heavily to his campaign. And then he became the spokesperson for the new DA, Michael Morrissey, when he was elected in 2010 after Keating went to Congress, and he gave money to him. Imagine that. Like, imagine having a job where you had to give money to your boss to keep your job. Like, this dude gives money to his boss. Who the fuck does that? Like, who gives money to their boss? Like, I get, because the truth of the matter is that people like David Traub have no skills. like, and they're extremely replaceable. Like, as we've seen with Jean-Pierre, Secretary of Diversity, you don't have to be talent. Like, you just get up there and you read the script. That's literally your only job. You don't have to have an original thought in your head. But this dude's given a lot of money to his fat. Look at this guy. They all look like they're about to explode. This gelatin just goes everywhere. Oh. But, you know, by the way, I love how Michael Morrissey's office here talks about, David Traub shares this. For my people in the criminal justice, civil rights, and judicial spheres, it says Norfolk County DA touts incarceration rates, said Mass is a leader in innovative alternatives. So, like, these progressive DAs are like bragging about how they're not sending people to jail. Like, it's their job to send people to jail. And then they brag, oh, we don't send anyone to jail. We're wicked woke like that. Except Karen Reed. She's completely innocent. We all know, but she's got to go to jail because it's better than, you know, sending my friend to jail. Michael Morrissey is one of the most underrated villains in the story. We hate on Lunchbox Lally a lot, and Lunchbox Lally is a useless piece of shit. But as I called him in the video, you're also a government stooge, right? He's just trying to keep his job. He's a piece of shit too. He's choosing to do this. He's choosing his job. Like, you like your job, you don't have to do this. But ultimately, Morrissey's the boss. So Morrissey is kind of like the unspoken villain here. But anyway, like many who work in the public sector, you know, he just wants to be pictured with Maura Healey or whatever. Anyway, so an old high school buddy reaches out to David Traub in February of 2022, right after Karen Reed is arrested, and asks him about this and says, hey, you don't think that Mansfield girl killed him intentionally, do you? He says, more will be coming out. We can't put it out yet. Okay. And then the friend asks him on February 10th, do you think it was intentional? Notice he doesn't say yes. He doesn't say yes anywhere in his answers. He just says, she was blacked out drunk. First of all, no, she wasn't. How was she blacked out drunk if every eyewitness said that she seemed not drunk? But he's saying it. She was blacked out drunk because we said so. I don't know the full details. Really? I feel like that's your job. But I think there is a triable case that she hit him. So they've arrested her and charged her with manslaughter at this point. But he thinks it's a triable case. He thinks maybe. Like, newsflash, you're not supposed to charge people if you're not sure that it's triable. And that she hit him and then drove off. Probably thought that he would dust himself off and limp into the house. He never got up. So this is on February 10th. This is the official theory of the Norfolk, because he's obviously at meetings with them, and they're like, we'll say she did this, that she hit him, and then the plan was for him to just dust himself off and walk into the house, and then what? Not tell everybody that my crazy girlfriend just hit me with my fucking car, with her fucking car? That was the plan that they were workshopping at the time? This is insane. Insane. So then he goes on to say on February 10th, they are still interviewing people, but that is at least one theory to support the manslaughter. So we don't even have a theory yet. That's just one of them. We're just throwing shit against the wall. We might go with that one. We might go with a different one. We'll figure that out later. Think of the pressure they had on them to arrest someone. A Boston cop is dead. He's been killed. Somebody's got to go to jail for this. And whatever. We'll just figure it. Oh, blame her. Fuck it. What are we going to go with? I don't know. Pick it out of a hat. We got like 3 choices. And do you want to go with the crazy blackout drunk theory? You want to go with that one? Or do you want to go with like the angry, calculated, like hit him on purpose theory? Or do you want to go with like gave him a little tap and then there's like like take that, asshole. We're gonna tap you in my car and then you'll get up and dust yourself off. Whatever. Fuck it. We'll figure it. Whatever. Just charge her. Get her charged with something. We got like fucking a year to figure this out. We'll figure it out later. Like that's why these texts are so insightful, because it shows that this guy didn't have a fucking plan. Like no plan. I'm sure it'll come out, you know. Wait, I'm sure stuff will come out in the grand jury testimony. How can you be so sure? How can you be? Are you sure of it? Stuff will come out. We're counting on it. We don't have evidence now, but we'll figure. We'll get some testimony in the grand jury. Well, who spoke to the grand jury? Brian Albert did. Nicole Albert, Jen McCabe, Matt McCabe. They all talked to the grand jury, didn't they? And they are all people who should have been considered prime suspects, and they're giving grand jury testimony that hurts Karen Reed. How funny how that works. The picture could change 3 times before the investigation. Oh, but so far it doesn't look great. No, it doesn't. Okay. They determined that they looked at this and they're like, yeah, she did that. Obviously. And so after after the story comes out, the Turtle Rider sends him a message and says, wow, this Canton story is getting juicy. Thank God we have a real reporter, Turtleboy, doing some real investigative work. Now, if you're David Traub and you get this message from a high school friend that you obviously don't know that well, and why are you sharing this information with the guy that you like? It seems like he just wants to brag about his job. Be like, I'm a fucking big shot. I work for the Norfolk County DA's office. People from high school want to know what I'm up to, so I tell them every fucking detail of it. Like, what? Why are you telling this guy all this shit? And then he goes, wow, this Canton story's getting this message. He's clearly taunting him. Like, dude, thank God we have a real reporter. Thank God we're not counting on you assholes to run this. Thank God for Turtleboy. Now, if you're this guy, aren't you at this point being like, okay, I'm not responding to this asshole anymore? Like, wouldn't that be a normal thing? Like, okay, this guy's obviously Team Turtleboy, so time to block his ass. But no, he responds to it. He goes, no, you have Turtleboy regurgitating what the defense attorney told him, then looking at Facebook photos. No, jerk off. That's actually not what I'm doing at all. Facebook photos? Facebook photos of what? Oh, you mean the picture of Michael Proctor with Jennifer McCabe's kids? Or are you talking about the picture of Michael Proctor with Colin Albert in the wedding party? You talking about that one? Or are you talking about the picture of Michael Proctor's sister with Chris Albert? We got a lot of pictures. Which Facebook photos are you specifically talking about, David Traub? I like how he just calls them Facebook. Oh, just fucking Facebook photos. Facebook photos that show the lead investigator is good friends with people who should have been considered the prime suspects. Might be a little bit relevant. Regurgitating what the defense attorney said. Told him, no, I didn't talk to the defense. I read it in what's called court filings. You see, there are 2 sides to this. Both sides get to put court filings in. The defense has a lot of very interesting evidence, like the Google call, like the Google search. That one seemed, you got any comment about that? And his defense, the defense is wrong. Oh, they're wrong. And this is how I had these messages before the May 3rd hearing. And I talked about it because I'm like, oh, they're just making this up as they go along. They're literally just making this up. I knew about it. I'm like, they're just making it up as they go along. Wait until we respond May 3rd. You're going to see a different thing. Well, May 3rd came and went. And we still haven't seen it. Like, where's the bomb? What was the bombshell that they had on May 3rd? What was the bombshell? That she was, so the Google search isn't real because we said, ozone basketball. That was the big bombshell. Okay. And who said that? Who was your expert that said that? Can we talk to her? Can we question her? Can the defense question her? Can you question her and show off, like show us this evidence? No, can't do that. Can't do that. We'll just talk about a black box. Oh, the black box proves she did it. Do you have any? Can we see the black box? Can you show us where in the black box it says that she struck her with the car? Nah, but it's in there. Trust me, bro. Everything with the prosecutors is like, trust me, bro. You have to be they are so fucking lucky that the deceased individual, the victim in this, comes from a family of very stupid people. Oh, you can't make fun of the O'Keefes. They're fucking stupid. Like, they're stupid fucking people. I'm sorry, I'm not pussyfooting around it anymore. Okay? They're part of this thing that's obstructing fucking justice. They don't give a fuck about him, obviously. And they're like just fucking pawns in this. And trust me, Paul, I know you're watching this, dude. And I said this before, I'll say it again. They are thanking their lucky stars they got someone as stupid as you. That, like, they're thanking God that they don't have a fucking family member that actually questions shit. Fuck you if that hurts your feelings. The statute of limitations on your fucking feelings has passed, okay? Because you're doing fucking nothing for your brother. Fuck you. I don't give a shit. Clip that shit, motherfucker. Anyway, she was shit-faced and got mad at him. Bumped him with the car. Oh, really? Okay. Oh, by the way, like this picture, they're still sticking to this is not a McCabe. Like, dude, look at that girl's fucking face. That's not a McCabe in the background. That one in the towel is not a McCabe. And this one's not a McCabe. Really? This girl right here isn't that girl? That's not the. Okay. that's like their whole fucking angle in this is like, don't believe your own eyes. Everything you've seen is fake. What? Anyway, she was shit-faced. They got mad at him, bumped him with the car. He went backwards and hit his head. So this is okay. That is why they had raccoon eyes. But the ME didn't find any bruising to his face or fractures to his bones. Dude, his skull was fractured. What the fuck do you think a skull is made of? Jelly beans? The skull was fractured. That's a fucking bone, you retard. A skull is a type of bone. It's made up of several bones, if we're being specific, and they were fractured. There were fucking broken bones in his fucking skull. You literal moron. Oh my God. I can't, like, this is insane that the listen to this moron talk about the raccoon eyes. Oh, that's caused when you hit your don't you hate that, guys? When you fall back and you hit your head on what? So what did he hit his head on? He hit his head on, what did he hit his head on, by the way? The curb? So how does his body get 12 feet from the curb? Okay, so his body lands in the snow. Don't you hate that, guys? When you fall backwards and you hit your head and then boom, your eyes pop out. It's fucking the worst. It's the worst. It happens all the time to people. They fall backwards and they hit their head and then their fucking eyes come out. It's like, it's just, that happens all the fucking time. Oh, and then no bone. That's what happens to fucking grass and snow when you hit your head, the back of your head hits the fucking snow. Boom, your fucking eyes popped out. Look at this shit. Look at his fucking eyes. He got hit in the back of the head and his fucking eyes popped out. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, we're being talked to like we're fucking retarded. Like, they're basing all, and Paul O'Keefe, again, they're doing it to you, man. They're only doing this because you're stupid enough to go along with it. Fuck you if you don't like that. Fuck you if that hurts your feelings. This is your fucking brother, man. Do you love him? Do you love your brother? Do you give a fuck about holding his killers accountable? No? Oh, I know you. You're going to the Celtics game, bro. You're busy. You're having a good time. You're dealing with your fucking DUI charge. Yeah, you're busy. Yeah, maybe you're too fucking busy to find out what the fuck happened to your brother. Snap out of it. Snap out of it, Paul O'Keefe. I know you're watching this. Snap the fuck out of it. It's your fucking brother. He was murdered by a bunch of fucking thugs who sit behind you with justice for JJ buttons. Have some fucking shame, you cowardly puke. It's your fucking brother. Oh, it's his brother. You can't say that. No, I fucking can. Someone needs to. Snap out of it. God. We'll fire it up. We'll fire it up. As you can see, I'm just so, these texts are so insulting. So insulting. If you blacken my eyes like that, there would be bruising and fractures to my orbital skull. Oh, okay. So basically, if he got punched, if his eyes got like that from punching, then there would be more fractures. His skull's fractured, you idiot. Oh my God. If I fell backwards, I'd have the injuries the medical examiner found in John. Let's give it a shot, David. Give it a shot. Let's see you. Let's see what happens. Fall backwards on grass and show me how your eyes pop out, please. Okay. I've been here long enough, young man. I've been a PR flack for 20 fucking years. I know how to read a script. I'm David fucking Traub, Norfolk County DA spokesperson extraordinaire, government stooge. I am a propaganda minister. You don't need, I've been around the block a few times. Oh my God. I've seen dozens of explosive motions to dismiss filed by the defense. Yeah, you have, and usually they're guilty, but not in this case. Accusing the government of everything but killing OJ's wife. They get headlines for a week or two, and then they get denied by the court. He knew ahead of time that the judge was going to hook his team up. And it's been a little bit more than a week or two, and it's not going anywhere. And David Traub, we can come to your home too. Just understand that. Like this whole, I go to work and I fucking talk shit and I do all this. Your home is fair game. We will protest outside your fucking home. You think I'm going away? In case you can't see from my rants, I'm fucking crazy. I'm nuts. And I'm fucking relentless. And I'll come to your fucking home. I go to kids' lacrosse games, for crying out loud. I go to the grand opening at the Violence in Boston headquarters. I go into the fucking ghettoest neighborhoods in Roxbury opposing Monica Cannon Grant. You think I won't show up at your fucking house with a megaphone and make some fucking noise? Keep talking shit. Keep it up. I know you're going to hear this too, David Traub. You're next. You're on the list. And it's all covered. It's all covered under the First Amendment. And you can cry about it. And you can go to court like Jennifer McCabe did and talk about, oh, blah, blah, blah. And you know what else I found interesting about Jennifer McCabe too? When she went to court and she tried to get that order on me, what did she say? She goes, is there something you can do to get him to stop blogging about me? And I've thought about that statement, right? And that, for her to say something like that, not only is it embarrassing and stupid, but it makes me think that she's used language like that before with Adam Lally. She obviously talks to Adam Lally, who is her, Kevin Reddington's her attorney, but Adam Lally's really her attorney because he does way more to protect her than Kevin Reddington has in this whole situation. He's embarrassed her. So why, I feel like she's asked, I can totally picture her going to Lally and saying, isn't there something you can do to get them to stop? And Adam Lally's like, yeah, I'll file a motion to gag them. Doesn't it seem like that? Like this is all done in defense of Jen McCabe. So, yeah. Anyway. All right. I think that's about it. Am I forgetting anything else? We talked about the formal introduction thing already. Okay. And we didn't have time to get to a couple more of these stories. That's okay. All right. Why don't we do a little Ask Turtleboy? Let me read any more donos if I have any here. We got a turtle chat here from Mickey T. Sends $25 and says, I love you, Turtleboy. I love you too, Mickey. I appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. What about Cash Out? Do we have any here? Okay, cool. If anyone else wants to donate, link is at the top. The turtle chat. You can donate whatever amount of money you want. Leave a message. I'll read it out loud to the class. Okay. In the meantime, let's anybody have any questions they want to ask? No, not I'm in fear. I was fearing. She was fearing. No, Jennifer McCabe obviously has no job. No. I won't forget the laundry, I promise. Patricia sends $50. Thank you very much, Patricia, and just says for keep it up. Not a problem. Thank you. I'll do just that. Whatever happened with the dog? I mean, they got the dog records, so we will see. I'm sure the defense is planning something with those records now that they have access to them. So we'll see what they have up their sleeve. Well, thank you, Lauren. I appreciate that. I was fearing, yeah. Turtleboy, they think that magical grass in Canton chewed on his arm too. Yeah, exactly. Moms are not dads. No, they're not. It's like I am. Like I'm kind of crazy. I'm kind of tapped. Who else would do that? Do you think the Pats land Diop? Probably not, but they're sharing cryptic shit now. But that would be very cool. It would definitely, I think Pats are gonna be a lot better than people give them credit for. I think the biggest problem was Matt Patricia, and Bill O'Brien is such an upgrade. It's gonna be hard because the division's so good, but I think the Dolphins are gonna finish last in the division. I think Tua is good. I think Tua is really good. I just think he's gonna get hurt. Like that seems to be his thing. And obviously the Bills are gonna be great. And the Jets are obviously be better. I think the Dolphins finish last in the division this year. And I think the Bills win it again. And I think the Patriots and Jets fight for second. So I think we're good. I think we'll win at least 10, maybe 11 games this year. It's going to be a hard fucking schedule. But how do you fall and hit the top of the back of your head? Well, they're saying that he hit the back of his head and that somehow caused raccoon eyes. Apparently. That's what they want us to believe. Scanlon did that independent investigation. I don't know what you're talking about. So the next hearing is July 25th. We don't know what. So the gag order hearing is supposed to be on that day. So on that day, we're going to protest. We're going to protest. I'll be there I'm going to start the protest 90 minutes before the hearing so that we can see. We're going to do it right on the courthouse steps. We're going to televise it on YouTube. We're going to stream it. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to get all the people coming in to the courthouse. And then we're going to do it afterwards. So we're going to protest for justice. I'll get you more details on that. Do you think someone will crack? Yeah. Like I said the other day, Brian Higgins might want to give you a head start. Here's looking at you, champ. I hate to say it, but you're the fall guy. You might want to get ahead of that. Who is the kids now? The grandmother does. Why haven't you wrote about Giannetti almost getting shot by the Boston police? Because did he? Did he actually? I know he's been saying he did. Who knows? Because he works for the Norfolk County DA's office, the state police investigator. I mean, he works hand in hand with them. You know, the FBI works in silence. So whatever they got, they got. And I'm quite certain, as we saw it took them a year to get those assholes who threw the rocks through the NHPR person's window. It took them almost a year to get Monica. They've been working on this, I think, for like 7 or 8 months. They're going to get them. They're like, if I was a betting man, I would say like 95% chance that they're getting indicted for this. I cannot imagine they would invest this amount of time and convene a grand jury if they didn't think they were getting somewhere. All right. Can we have another call log show? That was fun. That was definitely fun. I think we need to do that again. I agree. Was my question earlier confusing? Lally admitted Jen's Google search was real. He disputed the timestamp. Isn't that admitting the witness has evidence, Jen? I don't understand the question. Isn't that admitting the witness has evidence against who? Has evidence against Karen? Yeah, I don't understand the question. Or maybe you can rephrase that. Yeah. Oh, that the Google search was exculpatory to Karen and was held. Is that what you're saying? I don't get it. Sorry. Oh, that's a good one, Charles. Oh my God, isn't that a good one? Do you think Jen McKay bit his that? Now that's a theory right there. I mean, Your Honor, look at her teeth. You know, yeah. Proctor's still on the job, Victoria. Still on the job. It's disgusting, isn't it? Oh, thank you, 13. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. That was funny. By the way, so I did the car update. I went test driving, then I drove. So I'm down. I got two choices for a car now, right? I'm going high class, right? Because they're really not that more expensive. Like when you look at like, you want to get like a Hyundai's cost like 40 grand, 50 grand now. If you want to get a new one, like they're not cheap. Fucking Hyundai. I thought that was like a cheap car. Kias are expensive. Like you can get like you might as well go luxury at that point. So I test drove two cars today, and I'm gonna decide between the two of them. I'm either gonna get the Acura, what the hell is it? The Acura RDX or the Lexus 350 RX. I don't know if you guys know anything about either of those cars. But they're like the Lex. He kept saying the Lex. The salesman told me that the Lexus RX, the 350, is similar. He goes, "Oh no, it's much bigger than a CRV." And I drove it. I'm like, it doesn't feel bigger. It feels like the same size as a CRV. I don't know. It doesn't feel like that, like a Murano. He's like, it's bigger than a Murano. I'm like, what? It can't. No, Murano is a third row. Can't be. All right. So I am fearing merch. Yeah, we should. I know I'm a Capricorn. Can you switch your feed to be closer to your camera lens? So I look at, because I don't look at the audience. I don't get it. Oh, in person, you mean? I don't know. I should, we'll see. Why would you fucking message that during the show? All right. Any other questions? No one returned calls. No one returned calls. Check the turtle chats. Don't want to miss any. No, we're good there. Okay. Team Capricorn. Exactly. Read a crash analyst said after hundreds of cases, he'd never seen a black box record a pedestrian getting hit. Oh, of course they will. I'm assuming. I mean, there's so much that they can argue. It's like they get to kind of pick and choose what part of the prosecution's bullshit they're going to go after. And by the way, like there's a rotation of judges in this state. Like Canoni, I think, is the third judge on this case. Like she can't, the longer this goes on, eventually she has to be rotated out. Like they're on a rotation. Like, because they had Krupp before, who was more favorable to the defense. And then Canoni came on and she's been team prosecution the whole way. She's been there for a year. Like, I don't know when she gets out, but like eventually they got to get rid of her. And hopefully we'll be back to normal at that point. They are trying to say, they're saying Jen is incriminating herself. I still don't get the question. He's saying that the prosecution has incriminating evidence of other parties. But the six, if she Googled that at 6:23, it's not incriminating. That's what they're saying is she Googled that at 6:23 after she found the body. It wouldn't be incriminating at that point. That's why she did it at 6:23. She thought that by Googling the same thing, she would be overriding her previous one. And she even spelt it the same wrong way. Hoss long to die in cold on purpose. Yeah, hit that like button if you guys haven't done so already. How many likes we got? 314. We got almost 1,000 people still watching. Let's get that up to 500, shall we? If you're on the phone, hit the X button out of the live chat. Give us a thumbs up. She snacked on him. When does the Walsh case wrap up? That hasn't even started. Is Jen just a sister-in-law? No, she's not going to be the fall guy. No fucking way. Because she didn't kill him. She couldn't have. Yeah, they are expensive. You got to say the Acura. Should I get the people? Some people like the Lexus more. Which one has a better? I don't know. No Subaru Scissor Wagon. Nah, fuck that. Which did you like the best? I mean, Acuras are Hondas. And so like, it's very I'm a Honda driver and I love the way Hondas feel. I definitely liked the way, like when you press the pedal, I like the way the Acura feels, but the Lexus was cooler. And it would be cool to be like, I drive a Lexus. Like I would bring that up in conversation all the fucking time. Like I would just talk about it. It would be like, so my Lexus is outside. You might have seen it. Cause it's like, you don't want like Audi and BMW. It's like, those are German cars, right? Like, I don't want a German car. It sounds difficult to fucking replace parts and shit. Like, I like Japanese cars. They're Toyotas or Hondas with leather seats, but they're nicer, you know? And they need like less, I've heard they're really good with maintenance. Sorry, I'm catching up. All right. Who has the best chicken parm in Canton? It's definitely not. Very mediocre at D&E. That's all I know. So they rotate simply to avoid. So you get a fresh set of eyes on the case. I've had this in many of my lawsuits. You never get the same judge from start to end. Go with the the MDX is a bigger car. The MDX is 3 rows and much worse for gas. And I looked at the third row. It's fucking cramped seating. I'm like, what's the point of the third row if you're going to be so cramped, you know? And I got a garage. Like, let's not forget, Karen Reed hit a fucking car going out of her garage because she drives a much bigger Lexus. I think she was driving the LX. Like, that's a big fat car. That's way bigger than the 350. So she's driving that car, and it's like I park in a garage, it's a tough angle. If you have a big ass, if your car has a big ass, like if you have like a Pathfinder or a Murano or something, or a Hyundai Palisade, it's got a big ass. It's like you got to get that thing into the garage sharp and tight. I'm good. I like a little sportiness to it, you know? I love Toyota all of it. Well, that's what a Lexus is. It's just a fancy Toyota, isn't it? People like the Acura, huh? Interesting. Wow. Sorry, I'm way behind here. Yeah, the 4.6, that's a big car, yeah. You don't use third row, but you do have to. Yeah, I mean, I only have 2 kids, so what the fuck do I need a third row for? You know. I'm not giving my kids friends rides. They can walk. You know. I'll let you borrow my A6. Also, that's an Audi, right? A6. Let's see. Mercedes, only ride that matters. I mean, those are great cars. Obviously, it'd be cool to drive a Mercedes or a Benz or whatever. But I mean, Mercedes or Beamer. All right. Anyway, you guys have more questions? You should do a Canton restaurant review. I feel like it's best if I don't bite off Dave Portnoy's shtick. But I get what you're saying. Although we should have like an outing at the waterfall bar. That'd be cool. The extra room is really helpful. That's true. All right, guys. I am going to call it a night then. Thank you guys for everything. I appreciate it all. And sorry if I missed you. Thanks for all the turtle chats. I appreciate that. And we will see you guys all for the next episode of Turtle Boy Live on Tuesday. Happy Father's Day, people. Peace, Turtle Riders.